The Garage is brought to you by Tom's Backhoe and Excavation Service. LLC. Family owned and operated, serving South Jersey with swimming pool removals, footings, foundations, demolition, and all your exterior plumbing needs. Let me tell you something. Mr. Lee and Manny, they'll get it done for you. They'll get it done. Great guys, great family, hardworking. That's what we like to support. The blue-collar, small business, hardworking Americans. If you want to reach them, go to 856-786-2460. That's 856-786-2460. Tom's Backhoe and Excavation Service. We dig the earth, been digging it since 1994. Welcome to the Garage with Evan and Friends. Follow us on Podcast Garage on Instagram. Check out our shit on mancavecomplex.com. Check us out on YouTube. We got some videos so you can see what we look like. To my left, as always, Mr. Ryan Rickus.
What's up?
Across from us, hasn't been on in a hot second. He's been hounding us. Yo, let me get on. Yo, man, let me get on.
Let me get some burn.
You got that cheeseburger? Mr. Ryan Adamski.
You.
Ryan, good to see you.
Literally asked you once like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
You sure did.
Yeah. I thought John was coming with you, but we switched the days.
Yeah, he planned on coming on Wednesday, and then he had off today, so he had to do so much shit for work for tomorrow.
It's this will probably still be released Thursday, but if our energy low, it's because it's Monday night and just.
I got energy, dude. What are you talking about?
I don't. This is all your fault.
Yeah.
And Mondays are rough. I mean, when you hear those motivational speakers or just idiots on the computer who are just like, Mondays don't suck. You're just making your life suck. I'm like, no, dog. Mondays suck. So
I didn't choose that I had to go back to work today.
First of all, the weather is just shit. It's snowing. It's raining. The weather changes so fast. There's no fall. There's no spring. It's either hot or there's a blizzard.
We skipped fall this year, 1,000%.
Yeah, it was nice it's always nice for like 4 days, and then fall.
Or random days too.
Random, yeah.
It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No, Mother Nature wouldn't do that.
Thanksgiving Day, it was so fucking windy.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
That was brutal.
Well, yeah. So it's Monday. I actually thought I was going to be in a worse mood.
Jesus Christmas.
Sorry about that. I thought I was going to be in a worse mood today, so I was off all last week.
Yeah, the whole week off?
On vacation. So I've been off for 9 days.
The old staycation.
Yeah, staycation, which is the way I like to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So, and then it's Thanksgiving week, which I kind of like, it's kind of a party week. There's some stuff going on. But yeah, so I showed up today after that horrendous Eagles loss. We're not even going to talk about, like, who cares? I started gambling again, but it's not that bad.
Back down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's,
that quickly. That's all it takes.
But
hold on, did you take the Eagles?
No.
Oh, good.
The spread is too much. Even if the Eagles were going to win, like, it's just.
It's so hard to bet on your own team.
I can't take 10 points.
Yeah.
That's
I
way
thought
too
about
much.
It. Thank God I didn't.
I went 3-2, so I'm happy. It just keeps you interested. I didn't lose anything. Yeah, I thought I was going to be in a worse mood. I was like, oh, the podcast is going to suck tonight. My energy's going to be low. It still might be. We just started. But
suffice to say,
it wasn't as bad as I anticipated. And happy to be here. What's up with you guys?
It's definitely worse. It's definitely worse for you than I only had off Thursday, Friday.
Right.
So going from 9 days to 4 days is definitely a lot harder to go back to work.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that bad for me this morning.
And I'll tell you what, it doesn't sound like that much, the 4 days. And really, like, I got out early on Wednesday, too, so like 4.5 days. But it feels like a lot when you're going through it. And then when you finish it, you're like, that was nothing. I need an all another week. But when you're going through it, I was like, a couple times, I was like, damn, it's only Friday.
It's not. Well, Wednesday, we did the podcast. Your brother was on, and it was like, a little more. We got a little more tuned up than usual, so it was. It was
I got
nice.
Uber here,
you got an
so
Uber
we're
here.
good
Well,
to go.
I had the door open. You showed up in a van. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I was like, fuck yeah, baby. I went to bed late because you and Rob left after the podcast last week. And then me, Joe, and Chelsea stayed up because once the baby goes to sleep at 9:30, she don't get up till 7.
Right, you're done.
So I was down here
Job
pounding.
as a parent's done.
Yeah,
Damn,
This shit's easy.
She's sleeping that much
Oh,
already?
fuck yeah, dude.
That's great.
Yeah, dude, we took a sleeping class.
They give her a little bit of
Really?
bourbon.
Uh-huh.
What goes into it? I mean,
Melatonin and painkillers. No,
whiskey in the gums?
Bourbon.
no, it's just like oh man, Chelsea's so much more better at describing it because she does most of the work. So it was like an online
When I watch
thing.
Chelsea do it, it looks really easy. But
So like I guess the idea is, well, you want to feed. Obviously, you feed them, and then that helps them. But like
you want to feed your kids.
Good.
But like
that's
it's like
important. It's good to know
ways
your
you like
food.
have them swaddled. You always have to have them swaddled. Don't put the light in. So like say she falls asleep at 8 and then we wake her up at 9:30 to eat or something like that. You don't want them to nap that long during the day, so they're tired once it comes nighttime.
Makes sense.
So like if you put them down for a nap during the day, you might just let them sleep until they wake up. Like you want to wake them up.
Wake them
After-
some bitches up.
Yeah.
after,
So like
after a certain amount of time,
yeah, like you want them to be tired
going into the
coming
nighttime.
into the night. There's a lot more that goes into that,
Yeah,
but.
I understand the general
But like
concept.
the noise machine and shit, you don't want to look at them eye to eye when you're putting them to sleep. Like you don't want to confuse them. It's like
Really?
yeah, there's like crazy shit. You don't want them to fall asleep in your. You put them in the thing.
Look at them eye to eye, they might attack. Don't show them
put the-
teeth. That's
You put
also
them in your
important.
put them in the crib while they're still awake. You don't want them to fall asleep and then you put them in the crib because you don't want to confuse them. So like they fall asleep in your arms and then wake up and they don't know where the fuck they're at and they start freaking out. Like you put them in the crib while they're like all milk drunk and then they put themselves to bed. So she might be in the crib for 35 minutes before she even falls asleep.
Yeah.
Is she crying and
Tossing
stuff in the crib or no?
Every once in a while, like her binky will fall out, and she'll be like, "Rah."
See,
But her-
you don't want to look in her eye.
but her eyes are closed. So like, you might have to get up every once in a while and shove the binky in. But other than that, she's all right. Well,
Shut
the worst is like she'll be like, "Rah," and you think she's crying, and she walk in there, and once you go in the room, she's stoned, just stone cold, like not moving. I'm like, this motherfucker just got me out of bed, because like she'll keep her mouth closed, like, and you try to put the binky in, and she just won't open her mouth. I'm like, she knows what I'm trying to do right now. This
And then she opens up one eye and she looks at you.
Yeah,
and closes
yeah.
it
I'm
real
like,
quick.
she's 2 months old. She's already fucking with me. It's fucking bullshit.
Does she sleep on her back with her hands on her chest?
Yeah.
She's just out.
Yeah, that she's in the swaddle, so.
Uh,
Because you have to keep them in the swaddle. They like to be tight. And if not, they move their hands, so like they wake themselves up. Like she'll start like rubbing her eyes, and then she don't know what she's doing. She'll start poking herself in the eye
Ain't
and
that
shit.
why they wear like the mittens and shit?
Yeah,
so they don't scratch themselves?
Yeah.
I know some things.
Yeah.
Little
I'm real
kitten
good at
mitten.
cutting nails, though, so.
Cutting baby nails,
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I feel like that'd be so tough. They're so small.
The first couple times I did it, it was definitely.
a lot of blood. A lot of blood.
So her pinky might not grow any longer than it is right now.
Yeah, how do you do that one, dude?
The thing has a flashlight on it. Well,
Yeah,
first
but-
of all, her nails grow long. Like, I don't cut them.
She got a bunch of coke nails? Like
Yeah, dude, she looks like a vampire. She got them Eddie Murphy vampire nails.
You cut them into a point.
How was your Monday?
That's it? Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought.
do we want to talk about sleep study all night?
Oh, why not? I thought you wanted to go into what you did over Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
but I guess that's not what you wanted to do.
Yeah, what you do?
So, Rye, what'd you do over Thanksgiving?
Well,
You guys do like a big Thanksgiving, or
we try to, but it's just like a lot of my family moved. Like they're just all far away now. But
did you used to do a big Thanksgiving?
yeah, we used to at my aunt Ruth's house every year. We'd
Shout
have,
out Roof.
like my mom's twin,
Yeah.
like
They look alike.
identical. We'd have like 20, 25 people there, like every year. But
And now it's just like whoever's around.
pretty much, yeah.
come over and-
But so Thursday morning started out with
Did you have it?
the bago. No, we went to my aunt's, a different aunt. So, yeah, Thursday we did the bago.
Right,
No.
first year, first annual.
Yeah, let's
First
talk
time?
about the Bago tournament.
I enjoyed it.
Turkey hole. I actually really had a good
I
time.
had a better time than playing football, honestly.
Right, so this was the first year that we did a Bago tournament instead of
I call it cornhole, but whatever.
Either way,
cornhole. Rye got me going in the Bago. So
Okay. Turkey
Um,
hole. We changed it from turkey bowl to turkey hole. Too many people are getting injured. You're not getting enough people to play football anymore. Like a lot of people.
Last year was basically the Valeri family and a few other people that played.
Yeah, that's why I was the MVP. I was just schooling them out there. I was like, is there anybody who can run over 9 miles an hour?
How about those dudes that were trying to play football next to us? They just sat there in a huddle for
Yeah, what was that about?
45 minutes. I have no idea.
Dude brought a huge cooler.
Nobody knew.
He was in camo shorts.
Well, he said that they don't tell him anymore. They don't tell them anymore. I don't think he's involved with the group that he played football with before. So he was like, yeah, we won't get updates anymore. We figured we'd just come over and see if they were playing.
There was nobody there. They just sat at the park and drank.
Right. Oh well.
We said there was a bunch of people playing down at the hill, Brentwood.
Yeah, I guess he didn't want to
Where we
walk
used to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. I drove by there. But
I'm glad we didn't walk all the way down there to play cornhole. Like, we can play cornhole wherever we want.
Yeah.
The basketball court was fine. The bathroom was right there. Good
cops,
turnout.
about 45 cops rode by, though.
Yeah,
every 5 minutes.
What were they going to do? I was sitting there. I'm like, what are they doing?
out. Right. They don't have anything else.
Nah, I
Yeah.
guess you're right. But
They're
I
making
liked
sure,
it.
They're making sure that nothing doesn't fucking get crazy.
My shit's in your car. I want my shirt.
Oh yeah, it is.
It was just so windy. If it wasn't windy, it would have been a lot better. It was. I mean, I still had a good time, but if it was slightly, because it would even fuck up your shot like so bad.
Right, and I actually think that made it better.
Because everybody's playing on the same
you couldn't learn
competition.
like
or even ground.
sometimes you throw a couple times and you're like, all right, I got it now. I'm hitting the board in the same spot every time. You couldn't do that.
No, you couldn't.
And even sometimes like you're feeling the wind blow and you're like, the wind's blowing, I throw it and it curves fucking 3 feet to the right. So the next one I want to throw 3 feet to the left and you'll hit the board. The wind doesn't change on your third throw and you throw it 3 feet to the right again and then it somehow just goes straight. And you're like, okay. So you throw it back a regular way.
And everybody had different sets that they brought. So all the bean bags are all different weights and shit. So you would like play on one and then you go to throw it and it would just hit the basketball net. You're like, what the fuck?
Now, I thought I had a normal size cornhole set. It's a decent size set. We played it in my yard. I loaded it up like nothing else. I bring it out to the basketball court where the other beanbags, the other cornhole sets were, and they were not the same. The other cornhole sets were like furniture, dude.
Yeah, they were like custom made.
They were huge.
6 foot long.
Chelsea came up. He said, Charles, put my set in your car. People were making fun of me.
Dude.
We didn't play any league games
on the set. No, it was like...
That's what people were just
people
like...
weren't even practicing on them. They would throw a couple
I
and
was
be
like,
this isn't
holy
even worth
shit.
it.
I was like, where'd you guys get these cornhole sets from? They look like picnic tables.
Tables.
Who brought these picnic tables?
No, that was, I enjoyed it. Like I said, the weather was kind of shitty, but other than that, it was fucking perfect.
How far did you guys get?
We played used in the semis.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know who won. I left.
No, we lost to Gallo.
Oh.
Wasn't that dude like a pro?
Yeah, his Gallo's partner is Becker's cousin. He's a fucking ringer. Bullshit. Dude's dad enters tournaments on like ESPN 8 to Ocho. That's serious. He's like wins tournaments.
I was talking to him because we played them
beef
first.
jerky and Crocs.
It was 2-game elimination, and we played them first. And I mean, I'm not a fucking awesome player, but I'm not bad.
Right.
I'm an average player.
We drink beers and throw the bags.
Right. And I would be throwing it and maybe get like, again, it's windy, so it's lower your expectations a little bit, but maybe get like 1 or 2 on the board and the other ones would hit and fall off or something like that, and then he would get like whole board and miss, and you're like, oh, so he just had a good round, and then he would do it again, and then he would do it again, and I was like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. So then I started talking to him about it, and he was
that's
like,
what I said to Becker. I was like, not again. Not
well, we almost beat them. So like you were telling me, like, dude, we just played that dude. You're playing him now. He's about to crush you. I was like, ah, shit.
Who was on your team?
It was me and Ball Game. So
yeah, he came back down to earth after that. We lost the first game like 21-2 or something like that, and then we played them in the finals and lost 21-18.
Yeah, I was gonna say they beat us on like not a lucky shot, but like they won by 2.
Right.
But yeah, I had fun. I liked my partner. I mean, obviously, Kev Cunningham's a fucking man. So.
So you lost in the semis and you lost in what, the quarters?
Yeah, to you.
Fucking mowing them down, baby. Mowing them down.
He had that lined up. He knew he'd beat both of us.
I didn't actually.
Yeah, we went 1 and 2. Hey, I was just there to have a good time, man. And that's what I did. So now here's the problem, though. So what I did for Thanksgiving is we went to my parents, fried the turkey. I was in charge of frying the turkey, which I've done multiple years. I left it in probably 5 to 6, 7 minutes too long this year. Like it got a little too crispy on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
The inside was fine, but the outside was a little too much.
It didn't dry it out though.
It didn't dry it out,
Okay.
but the skin was like you had to take the skin. I like eating the skin. The skin had that like
awesome.
burnt potato chip that was like a little too burnt, so you couldn't enjoy the skin as much. Either way, turkey's overrated. Frying it, baking it, smoking it, turkey sucks dick. So
there's a reason that every year somebody's trying to find some other way to cook it.
Yeah. I was like, Mom, just start making it. Let's just make ham.
You got to smoke it.
I'm a huge fan of ham. Dude.
I love ham. Let's just make ham. Because my mom makes what? You like turkey?
No.
Oh.
I was.
My aunt had both, and I didn't even touch the turkey.
Yeah.
And I actually don't mind turkey, but if you're comparing it to ham, I like.
Well,
ham.
luckily, like we have that Italian stuff in us, so my mom makes stuffed shells, meatballs, sausage. So you're just like, all right, at least I know I'm getting. Well, all the sides are phenomenal.
Right.
But at least I know there's like something. I'm not just eating all sides. Like me and my dad are carnivores, so we were like sucking the bones on shit. Like we were going deep.
What's your go-to side? Thanksgiving dinner.
I really like my mom's string bean casserole.
Yeah.
I'm a huge string bean casserole guy. Which I'm not even crazy about string beans.
Yeah.
But I like the string bean casserole because I like the crunchy onions on top.
I was gonna say the onions.
Yeah, the crunchy fried onion thing.
What's like the cream? What's the
whatever
cream
the
in it?
cream of mushroom maybe it is, something like that.
Now, is it strictly your mom's, or will you eat that wherever you go?
You know what? I'll be honest. I don't know if I've had it anywhere else.
Really?
I don't think people make string bean casserole that often.
I
Does your family do
opposite.
Christmas too? Does your mom make that for Christmas? So she's like the one that does wherever she goes for a holiday like that. She's the one that's making that. So you probably
Well, it's always at her house, or I'm at her brother's house. It's the only two places I go for. But yams. It's just like your basic shit, like yams, potato. You know what?
No, I'm saying
I might be
I'm saying gun to your head. Thanksgiving dinner, you only get one side. What are you taking? You going to casserole?
Are the meatballs and sausage considered a side?
No. We're talking mashed potatoes.
It kind of depends on what people are doing. Sometimes people do some shit. Sometimes it's just basic mashed potatoes. Sometimes it's like stepped up. You know what I mean? Like some garlic.
So mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, green bean casserole, corn, like shit like that. Regular shit.
All right, I'll go string bean casserole then.
Yeah, that's probably one of mine. Again, depends on what you do with the corn. I like corn.
Corn's cool, but it's not enough for me. I always mix my corn with my mashed potatoes.
Yeah, just jailhouse.
You know what? I don't know if it's me, but mashed potatoes might be overrated a little bit.
That's you.
It
Mashed
depends on
it's you. It's you.
It depends on what you do with
Right.
them, though.
I would say that's my go-to. Mashed potatoes are so bomb.
If it's just basic mashed potatoes, like, all right. But like if you do something with it, it's garlic mashed potatoes or something. There's some cheese or
like I don't dislike them, but like they're too filling.
I feel like everything. I feel like everything on Thanksgiving is too.
Well,
filling.
here, this is what I was getting at. So
everything is just so dense.
Dense.
Like your balls, like
balls.
like Ev's balls.
These dense nuts.
Smack them on the table.
Smack them on the.
Let the boy watch. Let the boy watch.
Fucking do it again. Shit. Got him. So
that's amazing,
the problem is,
dude.
well, there wasn't many people over my parents' house as it is. And so you bring the baby. Obviously, you have the baby now and whatever. So that's, you pay a little more attention. You're not just sitting on the couch doing nothing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, nobody in my family drinks. So we were drinking all morning at the cornhole tournament.
Yeah.
And it's, you're starting to have fun. And then we left the cornhole tournament. I was like, well, we got to get lunch. So then we go to the jug. And the jug was, the jug's the jug, but we were having fun. You got rushed out immediately. You were there for like 15 minutes.
I'll talk to you. I had to go pick up wine.
Her chops was fucking blacked out.
Oh, yeah. He bought me a trash can and didn't even drink it. I was like, dude, I'm having a good time, but there's no way I'm drinking a trash can right now at 12:45 when I got to be at my parents at 3.
Yeah.
And not only that, when you were drinking, like it's not like you were sober.
I don't need.
And you got a trash can. You're like, all right, let's start the day off.
I don't need the help. Right, like I wasn't hammered, but I was feeling nice. And then I get to my parents and like I stop and we get some things. I was like, oh, I'll just keep drinking. Let's have this good day. But I get to my parents and nobody drinks there.
Yeah.
So I'm by myself and I'm drinking beers. And like I'm still like buzzed up and I'm looking around. I'm like, oof. Because I'm just sitting there talking, having fun, and I'm looking around and like, I'm like, oh fuck, am I like just a dude talking right now?
Right,
There's
yeah.
nobody-
Are you that asshole?
You're getting in your own head.
Because nobody's drinking, and then like, all right, so the food's getting done. I'm checking the turkey, and then after you eat, I mean, Thanksgiving dinner will put you down.
Yeah. I took a nice nap after Thanksgiving.
Well, that's the thing. So then I'm like stuffed, and I'm sitting on the couch. And I'm like, all right, well, don't fall asleep because Chelsea will be like, oh, you only fell asleep because you're
passed out,
drunk.
Because you're drunk. And then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, but I'm so tired. Like,
this is actual exhaustion.
I'm like, this is so tiring what I'm doing.
I was kind of hungover, so I knew I was going to fall asleep anyway. So on the way to my aunt's, I popped a fucking CBD gummy, and I was like, I can't wait. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to be out. And I was out for like 2.5 hours, dude. That's serious. Dude, that's serious. 2.5 hours.
How Courtney feel about that?
She wasn't there. She went to her dad's.
Oh, shit.
I was by myself.
Oh, perfect.
So it worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out real well.
Missed almost all the Cowboys game.
When you got there, were you like, "Is there a bed that I can use?"
Nah, just right on the couch. I didn't give a fuck. Nobody, you're not sitting where I'm lying. I don't care.
I'm gonna put my feet up. I'm gonna take everybody's seats.
Yo, you know what I
chairs.
was going to say at the beginning of this conversation? Well, not that we're old, but you can tell that we're getting older
Oh yeah,
by
for sure.
the Bago tournament. Like everyone showed up with like their dogs, and then 2 kids came. You're like,
yeah.
oh shit, we are fucking adults
Yeah,
now.
things
And we were playing
change.
Bago, not football. Like that. I thought
Yeah.
that's what you were gonna say.
But like once so. I don't know who got there first, Sloan or Sienna, whatever, your daughter or TJ's daughter, but I was like, oh, there's one. Not that not all is a bad thing, but I was like, there's one.
Yeah.
And then the other one came, and then like I came with my dog, McCall brought his dog, Creer brought his dog up. I was like, oh, this is just some
McCall's
adult.
dog almost fucked Creer's dog up.
McCall's dog almost fucked a bear up.
Yeah.
His dog's
He's got spikes in. He's got the choker around his neck that are like the reverse one where like the spikes go in it.
from Rocky.
Yeah, I was like, yo, dog.
that's what I got for Barry.
He walked
Yeah,
up.
you need it.
He walked up, and I had my dog's small. I was like, is she go with other dogs? And like I went to like let my dog near McCall's, and he grabbed his dog. He's like, nah. I was like, all right, dude.
McCall's like a $152. He went for a ride.
Why do you bring him up if he's not good with other dogs? I thought it was gonna be. He thought he had the run of the park.
I guess, yeah, apparently.
He was like, nobody else is gonna bring a dog up to a park.
Yeah.
No, but I had a good time at the cornhole. I would like that. I wouldn't mind doing a spring cornhole tournament.
I'll do one this weekend. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
I'm busy. I wouldn't mind doing it when it's nice out.
Yeah, that wind was just
Yeah,
brutal.
wind was whipping.
So the temperature wasn't bad. Like
We
everyone
could
stressed.
have literally changed the way we were shooting.
Somebody said it like, I want to say maybe the semifinals or the finals, and I was
Like
like,
we were throwing into the wind. We
It's too
could
late.
easily put our backs to the wind.
it's too late.
Makes sense.
Like, instead of
But then for the people down one end, it's because you were thrown into the wind as against with the wind.
Well, the way we were doing it, it was the wind was going across, east to west per se.
Yeah, nice.
If we would have turned it, then it would have been on somebody's back.
That's what I'm saying.
And then somebody else would throw into it, but
Yeah.
you would know at least you're going into the wind. That's it. Like you don't have to worry about trying to curve it.
It got to the point. It got to the point where I was throwing like low line drives because the wind would just knock it down or take it.
I was throwing
The
like
other
12
way.
to 6 curves.
Nice.
I was throwing them wide. Dawkins was calling me out too. He's like, "Here comes a curveball," and it was curving.
Yeah,
Doc's
was
the
working.
man.
I don't
Doc's
know
a
what to
real
he is the man.
Doc's so funny.
Shout out Doc.
Because Doc doesn't know he's funny. That's why he's funny.
Yeah, he's just the black dude who hangs out with nothing but white guys. So it's awesome, and everyone shows him mad respect too. They're just like, "That's Doc, yo. That's the black guy." Him and Terrence,
Right.
2 great dudes. Great dudes.
See the one.
Shout out Doc and Terrence.
He's the one that chose it like Steve Colangelo on it, right? Yeah, he's a good dude.
Great guys. Awesome guys.
He was in the Turkey Bowl last year, 2 years ago.
I
He
forget.
played. I
He's
forget.
in our spring league basketball.
Is he?
Yeah. He's.
Yeah, he played. That year it was basically the Valerius. He played
Right.
that year.
So I was drinking by myself at my parents', and then I was just like, "All right, you got to stop. This is like not awkward, but it's just like, what's the point at this point?" So that was kind of a buzzkill, and then
No one's taking that voyage with you.
right, which is sucks. Like the
Right.
only like Chelsea's family drinks. Me and her dad will get bent.
Yeah.
Like I'll get her dad in trouble and shit, and like I
But
get in trouble.
Your dad. Oh, I have a couple. Just
No,
not
he don't
really.
drink shit. No, he's done. He's all done.
He won't have 1 or 2 of you.
Yeah, he'll have like a couple sips, but he's like, I think I'm allergic. I'm like, dude, there's no way you just said that out loud.
Sounds like Eddie. You ever,
embarrassing.
dude? You ever been with Eddie the day after he drank beer all night?
Really?
Oh, he sounds like the biggest pansy ass ever.
Pansy ass.
He's like, I think I'm allergic to the gluten. I'm like, dude, shut up.
How much is there gluten in that?
So
And then
I hope you don't hear this. I'll see you tomorrow for a haircut.
then
Don't fuck my shit up.
after that, I don't think I did anything Friday. And then we just had the reunion Saturday.
That's right.
What was your experience for Thanksgiving?
We went to Kate's cousins.
Well, her parents live down south, right?
They do. They're in North Carolina, so we weren't doing anything with them.
Yeah.
My parents went down to Miami for the Eagles game,
Flow Rider.
so we weren't doing anything with them. Now my brother was up. My brother lives in Tampa. He was up. He was on the last episode, so
Yeah.
you guys know he was up. But he was up last Saturday, and he left on Thanksgiving with my parents. And we did like a Thanksgiving thing on last Sunday with like my family.
With that, yeah.
Again, the Italian side, like we had meatballs and shit like that. So I'm in on that. I don't want to do the hot turkey. So Thursday we went to.
Wait, what's the Italian
Kate's.
side? Your mom's side?
No, it's just, I'm saying like
Somebody
to
had
have
Italian, yeah.
to have Italian.
Oh, okay.
And then Thursday we went to Kate's cousins, which it's always a good time over there. Downside is it's like 45 minutes away.
Yep.
And then
So,
somebody's got to drive.
We were drinking earlier, and then you kind of hit a wall
Yeah.
when you have a lead up to it, and then a 45-minute drive, and then I'm not going to get there and like fucking down some beers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we had wine when we were eating, and like that slowed me down even more.
Yeah, wine
and
will
then
crush. I don't like wine.
Wine sneaks up on you.
And then I just had to switch to water. I was like, I got to make it home. It's a
Yeah.
45-minute ride. I
Yeah.
was like falling asleep
You
on
could
the
be fine.
couch.
You could be fine drinking wine, and then you stand up, and you're like, "Oh fuck, I'm a
Yeah.
lot more
What day
fucked up
is
than
it?
I thought."
What day is it?
I wouldn't even know. I don't even get that deep into wine. But like wine's the best drinking thing with food.
Yeah,
Beer tastes like shit with food.
I can't drink beer with food,
No, I mean I do it because I'm a fucking moron. But
but yeah, it's not great.
But yeah, so then after that, then we had the reunion on Saturday, which it was a good time. It was what we thought it was. I said hi to some people you haven't seen in a while. Nobody looks different like I imagined. You have social media, so you're gonna know what everyone looks like. It's not like the movies, like, oh, what are you doing? I started Facebook. You ever hear of it?
Hey, Timmy, it's me, Bob.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's the
Order
worst
in
part.
English?
That was the worst part of Thanksgiving Eve. Like, I mean, I didn't go out this year, but years past, it's the same conversations over and over when you see different people that like.
Yeah.
And one, you're like, all right, I don't talk to you because I don't want to talk to you. Like,
Yeah.
I talk to the people that I still talk to, but it's always
Right.
like, how you been? What are you doing? You're like, working. What about
Everybody's
you?
Everybody's in
Same.
the same boat. Either you're married, you have a kid, or you're getting married. Like you're in
Yeah.
that area, or you're at the other spectrum where you just live at your parents still.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's all good. We're all in the same
But
boat.
it's literally just, it's like working. What about you? Working. Like, all
Yeah.
right, well, see you next year. Like, there's no
But
change.
like, there was people I talked to that like I don't talk to normally that I wanted to see, like Ryan and Joy who were on here. I was having a I seen them in the corner like fucking Steven Glansberg. I went and rescued them, and then I seen a couple like of their other friends, Ivory and Caitlin Purdy. They're coming on next week, and Jenna Gold.
Okay.
Not next week, the week after.
Okay.
Which is awesome. They'll be awesome, fun to talk to. And just like shit like that, some other people, like nobody looks different. I mean, it's all people you communicate with somehow or another, or you see. Jake, Zave, all the people we see. Mason.
Right. People that have been on the podcast.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
And also some people that weren't. And
Yeah.
that's okay.
But they will be.
Shout out
They
Brian
will be.
Tillenhass, who won our
Shout out to B-Rye.
B-Rye. Shout out to
goes by.
B-Rye. That's how we all know him,
That's what
B-Rye.
he goes by.
He won our basket. We had a basket. Hilarious.
I'll tell you, it was the best basket. I'm not sure what the other baskets
four
were. but ours was the best.
4 used shirts and
For used.
and a bunch of stickers. And a coupon that
discount
a coupon that anybody could stole the code off of.
discount
It was just sitting there in the basket. Somebody could have just stole the code and easily just got a
For what, man cave?
for
Complex?
like a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be right.
And then other than
What were
that,
the other baskets,
Zave had one.
I kept saying, I got to go look at the baskets. I got to
I
go
know,
look at
was-
the baskets. That's what I didn't do.
I
Look
wasn't.
at the baskets.
I wasn't there. Were you asking me that question?
Zave
Yeah.
had like
Rhetorical, Ryan.
Zave had a basket. He had like a couple cheese boards that he made, like shit like that.
Okay. All right, that's already better than ours.
Why do I feel like I'm messing Ivory? Why do I feel like it's not? Yeah, Ivory. Why am I messing that up?
I don't know.
She does like photography and shit. She had something, and I don't know who else had it. I didn't look.
Some other people had some
Yeah,
things.
I didn't look.
Do you like their food?
It was good for what we were doing.
Was it like they come out like buffet style or like family
Yeah, it was
style?
buffet. There was wings. They had like mini slider burgers, and
And when I had them, the bottom bun was crispy.
yeah, I actually like that. I had about a baker's dozen. Burgers were coming out whole the next morning. I'll tell you what wasn't fun.
Next tray that comes out, can you just drop it off at my table?
The problem with food like that is they just make it in mass quantity, so it's like
For
not
sure, it's not going
always
to be quality.
great.
That's why I never get steak at a wedding, because they just make too many. I'm like, they didn't care for this. They didn't
I
put
want
no
them to
love
make
into it.
one steak for me.
They didn't put no love into this. But the next day, the next morning, when I had to wake up at 6:20,
Wait, and this was Friday night or Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Okay.
So when I had to wake up at 6:20 a.m. to feed Sloan for her morning feeding, and I'm sitting there, and my head feels like a bag of sand. And she's like,
Bag of sand?
She's like, "Argh!" And then like, because I have to make the bottle, I got to change real quick. I'm like, ugh. And then I fed her, and I put her right back in the crib.
Yeah, and then you got in the crib with her, and you're like,
Yeah, I slept at 10. I was like, fuck, man.
But you were saying the steaks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get steak at a wedding because they don't make it with love.
Yeah.
You know where they do make steaks with love?
Go ahead.
In the movie The Irishman.
Ooh. Have you seen it?
I didn't watch it, but yeah, hold on. I don't care if I mean I know the story of it, but
But do you?
everyone I've gotten real bad reviews on it. I haven't heard one good review on this movie yet.
All right.
No, like
I haven't heard many bad reviews.
No, I've heard like well, I mean, it depends.
Tell me what you heard. All right.
It depends on how you depict a movie. I've heard like
All right,
okay,
starting now. Look, write down the time, Rye, because we'll put spoiler
Like 30
alert.
minutes.
Spoiler alert
All right.
in our thing, because
it's 7:43.
we're gonna get into the Irish.
Really,
It's not.
No, on
We
the
need a
fucking.
time
it's 10:33. Super bad.
So
wonder
we're
what
gonna
time
get
it
into
was.
the Irishman. We're gonna break down this movie, which has been a fucking
So
blockbuster hit all across America.
I heard that obviously the acting's great, and like Scorsese is like whatever, you know what you're gonna get with him. It's just, but it's so you ever see the book I Heard You Paint Houses?
I've heard of the book.
That's what it's based on. Yeah.
I sure
So-
didn't read it.
so
don't
I-
worry.
I listened to the podcast with the author. So does that count?
Sure, yeah.
That counts as reading
it's
it, right?
like it's like an Audible book essentially. So I read that book, and somebody told me that if you read that book, take the first 45 pages of the book, and you got the movie. And then I've heard so many people saying it was way too slow.
I heard the book was more about his life. Like it talks about his childhood and stuff like that.
Not really.
All right. Well, the movie's not about his childhood at all.
Yeah,
He's
about
like fucking 50 in the movie when it opens.
yeah. Well,
But anyway, go ahead.
and everyone I keep talking to was just saying the same thing. Like it's very slow. It's just not, and it should be like it's a broadly known thing of what actually happened. So like it should be, and people were saying it's not like chronologically correct.
Well, from what I know, nobody really knows what happened to him.
No, I'm not saying with the death. I'm because it's the movie. The movie's about the guy that killed him essentially, right? Or that we think killed him.
Yeah.
Had the problem.
So real
Or
quick.
was involved in killing him, right? 'Cause that's what I heard you paint houses about.
So real quick, the movie is called The Irishman, available on Netflix.
Yeah.
Shout out to Netflix.
De Niro is Frank Sheeran.
Yep.
Pesci.
All-star
is,
cast. I mean, the who's who of
Yeah, it's
mob movies.
Yeah,
obviously.
Pesci is a mob boss. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Russillo.
Marcelo.
And Pacino is Jimmy Hoffa. So everyone knows Jimmy Hoffa
Has been missing for 210
has
years.
disappeared. Right. Everyone knows that there was a story behind the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. You know that by the end of the movie, there's a pretty good chance he's going to be dead.
Now, Jimmy
So it's
Hoffa
not really
is
a
the
spoiler
president
alert
of the
yet.
Teamsters Union, which was the biggest union at the time.
Yeah,
Might still be the biggest union. I don't fucking know, but
he founded it essentially.
yeah, he's
And
the
the
president.
movie's about Frank Sheeran.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the book. I believe was what the book is about as well.
So wait, in the
According
movie,
to the 1 hour podcast that I listened to about the book.
so in the movie they talk about his childhood and everything.
No. It's the other way around. I think in the book they talk about his childhood.
I mean,
and then, like him
they
in war.
talk about
and
it
all
not
that kind of
in
stuff.
depth.
Right. He's like 50 when the movie starts.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in the book it starts when he's like late 20s, early 30s. But like it's like there's a big gap.
Right. Okay.
It says like this, and then it goes to him.
All right, Rye. So you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Um,
Spoiler alerts out the ass.
You can go first. What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing.
Hold on, I also think this movie got I'm not I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything, but it got a lot more hype because De Niro, Pesci, Pacino have never been in a movie together. So people wanting to see this is probably people
Well, they
probably
have been
going.
in movies together.
No, I'm saying not all three of them at once. De Niro's with Pesci,
Oh, Pacino, right?
and
right.
Pacino's with De Niro, but they were never all three in the same
Yep,
movie.
I got you.
Isn't Ray Romano in it?
Yeah,
He is.
he's good. He's a lawyer.
And Sebastian Maniscalco, doesn't he
Yeah.
play?
He's Crazy Joe.
Steve Van Zandt is in it as well.
Yeah.
I don't
Did you
know.
catch that? He's
the dude from Sopranos.
Yeah. He's the opera singer.
Yeah.
At
Jim Norton plays Don Rickles.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. See that's one that. Where do I want to start? The movie to me, if I had to rate the movie, I'll do the rating of the movie at the end because I'm just gonna say a bunch of stuff. The movie was too distracting for me.
Okay, how so?
Yeah, elaborate on that.
Too many cameos, and by cameos I mean too many actors are in it. Too many well-known actors are in it.
Rogue was his daughter. She
Yeah,
didn't have a line.
She didn't
until,
say a
like,
fucking
the
word.
Very end.
True Blood. She was in the movie. She didn't say a fucking word. Every single
That's
like
what Kate said. We were watching it, and she's been in the movie now for I don't know 45 minutes, an hour.
She was Sheeran's daughter.
Yeah.
Grown up.
Yeah.
And
which she's 40 in real life, and she's like playing like a 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point she comes on the screen, and Kate was like, "Has she been in this movie this whole time?" And she didn't say a fucking word. And like she doesn't say I think she has one line.
The movie's 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, that's.
So you would never go to the movie theater to watch something like that. I broke it up 2 different parts. I watched it half yesterday and half today. Too many. Every single character in the movie was an actor that you've known, so it was like too distracting to me. The ages were all fucked up. Because you said when they showed De Niro he's 50. I think he's probably supposed to be younger than that when they first introduced him. He's probably supposed to be like 30.
Yeah, so that was a big problem that I had as well.
They dyed his eyes blue. They tried to CGI his face.
Yeah, that's tough.
You didn't know what was going on.
You didn't know the age.
And how old is De Niro? Like, how old is he?
73, I believe.
77. They're all 80.
So you're
Al Pacino is 80.
So you're trying to get these guys, even if like you said, like he probably should have been 30. Even if they're playing 50-year-olds, it's.
Harvey Keitel is 81. Joe Pesci is 80. Al Pacino is 80. Robert De Niro is 77. They're simply too old to be doing this. I get it. It's the who's who of actors. They did everything. I love it. They're all still good actors. They know what they're doing.
And then they got Scorsese, and they're probably like, all right, this is our final send-off.
Scorsese's 80 years old.
This is our send-off, you know what I mean? It's going to be...
Right, I get it. It's fantastic. All these guys are in it. It's just, it was too distracting of a movie for me. And you know what? The storyline wasn't that clear for me. It's cool. It's entertaining. Like I said, I've always said this on the show. I like dialogue, so I like the talking and all this, but I was confused by a lot. I would probably have to watch it again, but there's a lot going on for nothing going on.
Did you know the story prior?
No, not really.
Okay.
So
I mean, I know Hoffa went missing and the mom was related to it, but
what I'll say about those 2 points is, one, I agree with them being old, and it was hard to tell how much time was passing.
Yeah.
You're like, what? How long before the last thing?
It didn't say like. Didn't come up.
No,
with,
there was
dates?
no years ever. They would like show when they would put like dates under people's like characters when they died, but they never said what year it really was. Hoffa went missing in like 70, I think.
I think it was closer to like 80.
Well, I'll look it up while you're talking.
Because I think it all happened at once. Like people all died.
Hoffa was 62 when he disappeared. I know that.
I think people like all died, and Hoffa, like I think it was all at one time, and all the dates that came up were either like 78, 79, or 80.
1975, he disappeared.
Okay. So it was kind of hard at some points. Like at one point, Hoffa's getting out of jail. He was in jail for 5 years, and the only reason you knew that much time had passed was because he was like, I was in there for fucking 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, oh, okay, so now we're 5 years later. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to figure out how far along they are because I think it's easier to take younger actors and make them look older.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
When that happens, you're like, he looks old as shit right now, so it must be a while after. But if they already looked old and now they just look old too, like I was judging it by Ray Romano's hair color, and Ray Romano is not a main character in the thing. So you're like, when are they bringing up Ray Romano again? How much great has he got now?
Joe Pesci and De Niro and Al Pacino just look so old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harvey Keitel's...
Pesci looks old as fuck.
Who was telling me? Somebody, Colin McHugh was telling me that there's a scene where like De Niro actually stomped someone out.
Oh, it's horrible.
And he said it looked so bad.
It was WWE.
That's what I said to Kate when it was happening because Kate thought he was like 50 or 60 at that point. I was like, he's got a young kid. He can't be that old. And like you could see like the way he was holding his arms, like he just couldn't
Keep his
it.
balance,
He
throwing a
couldn't
kick.
do it anymore. Right. And
Like in Goodfellas when he's stomping that fucking dude's head, you're like,
Yeah.
oh!
right, he
Yeah.
gets the whole
Oh!
the
Yeah,
arms
yeah.
are in it.
Oh!
Like here, he was like standing there like this and like kind of like
Wobbling.
kicking like this. Like
Get
he
your
was trying
fucking shine box.
He might as well have been on skates.
right. He was trying to stay balanced, basically.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh.
What was the next thing that you said?
Distracting because there's too many like cameos.
Yeah, after that.
The storyline it wasn't clear what was going
Oh,
on.
right. So that as well.
I think they thought more people knew about like the
That's
plot.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Right. Well,
Before-
Hoffa's not our generation.
yeah.
They also they anticipated that people would know more about it.
Mhm.
First off, and second off, they ride the whole Goodfellas wording of friend of ours, friend of mine, brother, all that
too
kind
much
of stuff.
mob lingo.
They ride that wording where like if you are very familiar with Goodfellas, like I knew who was what and who was you couldn't kill that guy because he's a friend of ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to explain it to Kate while we're watching the movie because she's not as familiar with it. I was like,
It is what it is.
right, like that means you either do it or you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
But like to ride the lingo of a movie. When did Goodfellas come out? 91. So to ride that, now don't get me wrong, a lot of people have seen Goodfellas. A lot of people that will see The Irishman have seen Goodfellas.
Yeah.
But just a little bit of a reminder. You have 3.5 hours to remind us what's important in these conversations.
That's another thing. This day and age, people aren't built for 3.5-hour movies.
No,
Right.
it's a TV show.
Sheeran's taking conversations back and forth between Pesci and
Al Pacino?
Al Pacino. I was going to say De Niro. I was like,
Yeah.
how's he doing that? He's taking conversations back and forth with like implications in the wording that you don't know unless you are familiar with mob movies.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of the people that are going to see The Irishman are familiar with mob movies. But what if you're not? Like just a little bit of a reminder about it.
Yeah, you're gonna
is
get
all you
you're gonna
need.
get somebody that just reads about all the hype it gets and just like, oh, let's try this one, and then
Or watches it with their significant other who's into that kind of stuff.
I'm-
You know?
I'm
3.5 hours later,
I'm
they're like, what the
too
fuck?
good of a movie watcher. I've seen too many movies where you're not just going to get me because of the actors and shit in it. Like, you still got to make a good movie.
Yeah, of
You
course.
can't just put everybody in a movie and be like, oh, this is like this can't be the Expendables of mobsters for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Now,
What did it get on like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes? And shit
That's
like
what
that?
pisses me off. It got like an 8.6. I'm like, come on, guys.
What do they?
Look how old these guys are at the fucking premiere. Come on, man. Come on. Hey. Where's the ad blocker? He's a stud.
So
isn't
I
he?
don't know what gets judged, obviously, for like the criteria for IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and everything, but like I'm sure the acting was on point. I'm sure the directing and all that was great because of the names you have in it.
right.
You got Scorsese directing it, and then you got this laundry list of actors that are just out of this world. So
Right.
But
Now, what'd you think was good about it? Anything?
the acting.
yeah, because I don't think it was a bad movie. But it wasn't clear because it was so weird how Jimmy Hoffa hated JFK, but Russ, who was Joe Pesci, they all loved JFK. But like they were all kind of connected somehow. I don't know where
Right. So
who was confused because pretty much De Niro is in between Hoffa and Russ the entire time. Russ doesn't hate Hoffa, who's Joe Pesci. I'll just say their name. Joe Pesci doesn't hate Al Pacino. But like there's still some weird thing going
right,
on.
Joe Pesci connected. So
Joe Pesci is like the most powerful
That's-
guy in the movie, other than like Harvey Keitel, and
that's how
that's about it. Them two,
De
pretty
Niro
much.
got connected with Pacino. Is
Wait, so who did Pacino play?
Jimmy Hoffa,
Who did De Niro play?
Frank Sheeran.
Okay,
The Hitman.
gotcha.
So Hoffa called Russ, the Pesci, because he needed muscle to take out some guys that he thought were going to be detrimental to the Union.
Yeah,
So Pesci sent out De Niro, Frank Sheeran, to go help Hoffa, Pacino, clear out the shit that he needed to clear out, and they became close. They did a lot of work together. De Niro ends up being a president of a local 326 or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is.
Right.
And
They look so old.
They're
yeah,
so
they're
old.
super old.
They're 80.
So JFK was going to help the mob. Well, not help the mob.
Well, yeah, everyone knows JFK was somewhat mob related.
Yeah.
Open back up Cuba
Mm-hmm.
so that the mob could get down there with their casinos
Yes.
and get all their shit.
Yep.
So that's why they like JFK.
Uh-huh.
So you're
Hoffa
gonna
didn't
tell
like
me
JFK.
it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald on the grassy knoll?
Well, that was one of the best lines in the movie, actually.
Yeah, so we'll swing back to that. Hoffa didn't like JFK mostly because of JFK's brother, Bobby.
Yeah, it was on
who was
his
the attorney
ass.
general, who was on his ass for everything. So he's like, if you can't control him, then fuck you too. So when JFK dies in the movie, first off,
Wait, JFK dies? Spoiler alert.
First off, when JFK dies, I said to Kate, like, they're sitting in a restaurant and somebody's, like, the TV's on and somebody in the restaurant goes, ah! And then, like, everyone gets up. They're like, oh, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, yep, there's confirmed JFK got shot and has succumbed to the wounds of his injuries. Like, imagine, and, like, people are crying and shit like that. Like, imagine still finding out about stuff like that today.
Right, like, literally you just get updates on your phone, like,
Yeah.
instantly.
Because I always think about, like, I've listened to it before. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to Reggie White tell the crowd of the vet that Jerome Brown had died.
No, I never heard
So
of
I
it.
forget what he's making a speech about or something like that. And he, like, kind of stops and, like, gets news, and he's tells the entire crowd that Jerome Brown had died today. And the entire crowd is like, oh!
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine finding out like that. You all find out at the exact same time.
Yeah.
You're not, like, sitting there on your phone or watching TV or something like that. But anyway, so JFK dies. And that kind of starts, it really picks up from that point.
Uh-huh.
Now, that's like you said, 50 minutes, 60 minutes left in the movie.
Oh, yeah, there's probably
That
like an
was,
hour
like,
and
right where
20
you were
left,
out.
yeah.
Wait, 60 minutes left when he
Yeah.
dies?
Right. So
So
there's
the-
a lot of build up.
So the first 2.5.
It's not that slow, but it's just like, I don't know.
Well, there's build up. It's needed in some areas. I think some of it's probably not needed, but there's build up.
That's what I say. It's always nice to just watch the movie before
to
you
meet
listen
the
to what we're...
characters.
Listen to what we're saying.
It's the hardest thing is to make something that lasted 15 years in the
Right.
3.5 hours. So it's like, you either got to make a show of it where it's 10
Either way,
10
all right, well,
episodes or whatever.
if I'm giving it a 1 out of 10...
Because, hold on, so it really picks up after JFK dies.
Mhm.
Like, much faster. People start dying more often. That's when the whole Hoffa, Russ
Yeah.
Well, Hoffa goes to jail after he dies, right?
set up. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So right there's that. Yeah, because JFK dies in what? 63?
Something like that.
And he went missing in 75.
Right.
So 12 years
Well,
later?
because he gets out and then tries to run for president again.
Right. And the people who are the head of the Teamsters at this point are doing what the mobsters want them to do. They're playing ball. What else? Oh, one of the best lines in the movie, though, where, like, Pesci's telling De Niro, he's like, if you don't get him to cooperate, it is what it is. And De Niro, he's, like, real good friends with him and shit, so he's just trying to, be like, no, I don't know if they'll do it. He's like, listen, they killed a president. They'll definitely kill the president of the union. I was like, ooh.
So that podcast that I was listening to, he talks about in the book We Paint Houses. Or I heard
We Paint Houses is
I
short
heard
for
you
being
paint
like a hitman. Like, We Paint Houses, like your blood on the walls.
I heard you paint house. That's what they would call. That was like the thing they would call
Code word, yeah.
and be like, "Hey, I heard you paint houses." Like, all right.
Like, there was cameos of everyone. Like, the one dude with the big nose from a Bronx Tales. It's just, like, little parts. Action Bronson's in it. You're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Action Bronson, really?
So in the movie or in the book first came out with a lot of the information that's in the movie and all that kind of stuff, and then it was re-released with a 57-page or 75-page, one of those two numbers, edition on the end that Frank Sheeran wouldn't let I want to say it's like Charles Brandt or something like that who wrote the book. I forget. he wouldn't let him put that in the book at first because a lot of the people that were still involved or that were involved in that were still alive, and he was like, you can't put that out, and he kept it. But what does that say? Charles Brandt.
So he's not a rat.
So he kept, like, Frank Sheeran kept that actual pieces of paper that he said he was going to put in there, but Charles Brandt obviously had another copy of it, and then put it out with a re-release, and it's the story about him having a conversation with, he spent 8 years or something like that with Frank Sheeran, just talking about stuff and recording stuff and trying to get all this information about. That's when he admitted to killing, to all the information in the movie.
So that's the thing. Like, he spent 8 years with this guy, and they turned it into a 3.5 hour movie. It's
right.
Like, it's tough to do.
So, in the addendum at the end that they put in, he talks about how he made a joke about JFK. Because they were saying, so I thought it was actually really interesting. So they were saying Frank Sheeran was going through the list of people that were involved in this one deal that they were making, and he was like, you named, and he names all 9 people that were involved or something like that. And he's like, so why were there so many people involved? And Frank Sheeran, he was like, one of the reasons was if it's one person, they can just kill that one person and then it's done. He's like, if you have 9 people involved, they're not going to have a massacre. They're not going to machine gun 9 people down afterwards after they did the deed. So I would do something and then bring you in on it, and you would bring him on it, and you would bring him on it. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden we got a group, and we protect each other, because if they kill me, you guys know what they killed me for. So there's 8 other guys that are going to be involved. So he made a joke like, oh, so it's not like a Lee Harvey Oswald situation. And he said Frank went stonewalled and, like, sat back up in his chair and stopped talking for a little bit. And then, like, he started poking and prodding, and he was like, I'm not going into Dallas at all.
Huh.
Like, and then he rewrote the stuff and then gave it to him, like, to see if it was okay to publish. And once he started reading it, he said the same thing happened. Like, his face went white, he sat up straight, and he was like, you're not putting any of this in there. Like, all these people are still involved.
Right.
Like, so, yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they say. I mean, what do I know? What do I care, actually?
What, the whole mob killing JFK and all that shit?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't do it to be mean. I mean, you slip up, there's rules to follow. If you're going to play that game, Hoffa wasn't willing to play the game. Hoffa was, like, a real strong, independent type of guy. Like, nobody's going to tell me what to do. He was, like, standing his ground. Well, I get it, but eventually, you play ball or you don't. You're involved with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny when they show other mob members that don't have large parts in it. Like I was saying earlier, it explains, like, it'll stop on them and say, Ryan Adamski, and then it'll say, like, how they died and, like, when they died and all that kind of stuff. And every time it's, like, shot 6 times in the face, shot 4 times in the back,
or in prison for 110 years. You're like, oh, Jesus.
Right. Every time you're like, God damn.
Like, it doesn't end. It doesn't end happy for anyone. Yeah. So, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Out of a 10, what else? I think there was a couple other. There's, like, definitely some good lines. It's worth watching for sure. I just couldn't get past the characters as.
It is hard to tell sometimes, like you said.
Tell me where you are underneath. You know how, like, you'll go to a scene and they'll be like, oh, Harlem, New York. Like, I don't mind when that being at the
Harlem,
bottom.
1975.
Yeah, like, I don't mind that
I
at all.
thought that would have came up.
No.
I like that shit.
Yeah. It's Pesci looks like he's 108 the whole movie.
He looks older. He looks older than Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood is
So
Tales from
fucking
the Crypt.
Well, dude, they're all so old as is. Like, it's
right. At least
My grandfather was an 80.
They made De Niro look a little bit younger.
Yeah, but you can only
make
make a man to look so young.
you can only do so much.
I know. They made Pacino look younger, and granted, I know Pesci was supposed to be older, but he looks like when the movie starts, he was 80.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be.
Like, this movie should have came out like 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I do like the idea of putting a movie right on Netflix. That's cool.
Yeah, and it
there's
allows
been
them.
Netflix movies, but
It allows them. I always hear a lot like the
I thought it
big
came.
name
I thought it came
directors.
out for like a week in like select.
I think
it might
did.
have.
They usually do that shit now.
But like big name directors never want to cut shit from their movies.
Yeah,
Right.
This is
got,
good. There's a reason for this. Like, how do I going to get this down to 220?
Yeah.
Right, Quentin Tarantino wants all of his movies to be 4 hours.
Right.
Like he has the Hateful Eight on Netflix, and it's like fucking 3.5 hours long too. But
Right.
it says it Hateful Eight 3 parts. Like you know what I mean? Like how I would say
Yeah.
episodes.
Right.
So you know how all of his movies go into like chapters.
Yeah.
Like you just watch the chapters, which is
Right.
dope. It's the way it should be done. That's the
Right.
reason I want to do this podcast for 4 hours.
Right.
Like I don't.
It's for something that long of a time frame. It's got to be broken up into. If you're stretching something if you're trying to tell a story of 20, 25 years in 3 hours, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
You're gonna miss something.
They
Yeah.
could have made it a series for. Well, they're too old. They can't do it.
So I'm saying something like that. You got to
They
make.
could have still split it into, because I'm sure there's stuff that they still cut to get down to 3
How about
Yeah, they
making
have
how about
to.
making younger act like you could have switched it up and made like a younger actor and then De Niro be him older.
Right. But
Easily
they
could've did that.
wanted De Niro
I know.
and Pesci in the whole thing.
I know.
So I'm saying
Which
this
I
was
think
their,
they made the wrong choice.
This was their curtain call. You know, what I mean, this is their final. They're like, all right, we're done.
That's
after
fine. If that was the reasoning, then I'm okay with it. It doesn't make the movie any better.
this. No.
Now, how do you think this movie would have been if they had different actors?
I think probably,
Probably wouldn't, it wouldn't have got the hype.
right.
The
definitely
dude who
wouldn't have
plays
Well, it
no,
depends.
wouldn't
It
got the hype,
depends.
but
It
fuck the
depends
hype.
But
who
I'll
it
tell
is.
you, they're still fucking good actors. Like that phone call.
They're great
that-
actors.
That Sheeran makes to
Oh yeah, Hoffa's wife.
Joe Hoffa.
Oh yeah. No,
So
Robert De
fucking good.
Niro's
I'm sure it's not
the
the.
best
fucking
actor
good.
ever.
I'm
but-
sure it's not the acting. It's the physical accountability that they all have. You know what I mean? Like you can't like.
Yeah, thank God he only beats up like one or two people.
So we're talking about
yeah.
like I said, I didn't see the movie, but I can't imagine 80-year-old De Niro stomping someone out and looking remotely real.
No,
Right.
but that's the thing. A lot of it was shooting people. I mean, you don't have to be young to shoot
Yeah.
a person, so
Right.
that's good.
But even when he would shoot people, like he was like this, like bang bang. So
Dude, when I seen Sebastian fucking as Crazy Joe, I was like, yes.
I wouldn't be able to take him
Yes.
serious.
I couldn't.
I
couldn't.
Too tough.
I
he's
really
only in
couldn't.
it for 5 minutes.
Right,
so.
but I really couldn't. But out of 10, now I'm a hard judger as it is, so out of respect, I'll do this. I'll give it a 6.5.
What did it get on IMDb?
You can look it up. I think it's got like an 8.4 or an 8.5.
Yeah, I was low to mid sevens. I think a little bit higher.
What about on Rotten Tomatoes? What did it get on that? Did you see
I
that?
didn't look it up. I'm better than Rotten Tomatoes.
You're the Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, I'm the Dave Portnoy of movies. Everybody else is out rating shit now, so I might as well.
Do what you got to do. All right. Well, hopefully, if you wanted to see the movie, you skipped forward.
Yeah, we'll put it in the things. Don't listen to this because
Got-
everybody has their own opinion. You
got it.
never
Right,
want to
well,
listen to
this is-
anybody's opinion
This
before
is
you watch a
them
movie.
coming back.
It got 8.3.
Okay, well, I disagree.
You're ruining your. God damn it! We're gonna cut this out now.
That doesn't matter. We don't have to cut anything.
I'm cutting it.
We ain't cutting
I'm
shit.
cutting it out.
We're going to halftime. I got to pee. Chelsea got to come out and take a picture.
Let's go.
Hello. Hi.
Evan here.
Hi. So we're back, and we would like to talk about money and how it can't buy happiness, but I find that to be bullshit, right?
Well, I think it depends on what type of happiness and how much money we're talking about.
You tell me, man.
Because I think if we're talking about an amount of money that's comprehensible to us, then yeah, it can buy happiness. Again, let me clarify. So happiness, in terms of things that will help you be happier,
Yep.
like being debt free, having a nice home, being able to travel or do whatever you wanted to do. Like if you didn't want to travel or you wanted to fucking
Yeah.
ride a jet ski in your backyard, you can do that. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Uh-huh.
Will it be able to, if you have people pass away in your life or something like that, will it be able to bring them back? No.
Yeah.
Will it be able to find you a wife that loves you? And no, probably not. But
It'll help you find a wife, just not one who's actually.
Yeah, we just
into
don't know
you.
how
right,
how
much.
much she will actually be into you.
right. But so I think it depends on how you define happiness, and like I said, the dollar value that goes with it. So the reason we're talking about this, I kind of want to introduce the idea of the top five.
Go ahead.
Our top five, that we'll get to in a little bit is what we would do with $1 billion after all of the obvious stuff. Like, if you win a ton of money, $1 billion, you're going to buy yourself a new house. You're going to buy some cool cars. You're going to, help out your parents, your friends,
Yeah,
your
like
family.
get rid of all this stuff of making you a good person.
You're
Like,
gonna
we get it.
You're gonna take care of the bills. You're gonna donate some, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, right.
It's
Your debt, your
the
family,
shit.
that's all taken care of.
Right.
When you got nothing left to do, but you got $1 billion fucking dollars. That's
right.
what
all the leftover money.
That's how
Right,
I.
yeah,
That's
we're not wasting 5, 4, and 1 on like, oh, my parents deserve this. They struggled forever. I know. Okay, I know.
Right, because a lot of
Just-
people can't help out their parents because people are living paycheck to paycheck. This is, like
It is what it is.
It's like 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, if you're looking at one.
Almost
got 3 of them right here, man.
almost half of all Americans work in low-wage jobs. And low-wage jobs are jobs making $18,000 or less a year.
What's the percentage on that?
Almost half.
So 50%.
So
what's
what's
probably
happening,
53%.
What's happening with all those people is they have now to take on 3 of them to stay above
The poverty line.
to stay above the poverty line, to be able to feed their families or to be able to not live in their car.
Wait, almost
or live
half
on
of
the
America.
street.
How many people are in this country?
300 million.
50? Yeah. something
So
like that.
150 million people are making 18 grand or less a year.
Well, yeah. So have jobs that make 18.
Well, you got to
So
assume
you
that
can
you're
have
not
multiple.
talking about kids. It's got to be 16 and older, right?
No, it's U.S. workers.
Okay.
So it's probably 18 and
Okay.
older. It might be 16. and
Right,
older.
right, right.
Either
way.
But again, this is have jobs. So again, you could have 3 of them and make 60 grand. But
Not even.
right, but you still have 3 jobs.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they're all less.
That's kind of crazy to
Depressing,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, super fucking depressing.
That is.
So I want to put $1 billion in perspective at some point. I'm going to have you search some things that we're going to only be able to pull up on the screen.
What, in the perspective on like actually how much money it is?
Oh,
Right.
my favorite $1 billion stat is $1 billion in seconds is 33 years.
Right.
Oh
versus,
shit!
versus $1 million. What's a million seconds?
No, what's $1 million in seconds? Is that what you meant?
What's
No.
what's a million seconds?
A million seconds versus a billion seconds, because you need to compare it to million.
Right.
Because million is
Probably a
like
year.
like you can figure that out. Like you can comprehend a million.
Yeah.
People think they can comprehend $1 billion, but you really fucking can't.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was the last. Well, not the last lottery, but remember it got the highest lottery a year or 2 ago, and it was a single ticket. The guy won $1.6 billion.
right. And
So even like after tax and everything, he walked away with like 800 million. But it's like whatever.
But just
right.
imagine 33 years, every second for 33 years. That's wild.
Longer than I've been on this earth.
all right, so I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna
That's
pull up
ridiculous, dude.
a couple. Well,
And
this
you know
one-
what's crazy?
How many
Like
seconds are in a day?
60 times
Here we go.
60 times 60 times 24.
what were we gonna say, Rye?
Like,
Right, so
like
a million-
we're
sorry.
taking into perspective, like $1 billion, and there's guys that have like 60, 70.
Right.
Like,
right.
holy fuck!
Everything's
so
free.
to answer our
Yeah,
question,
like you don't have to do anything.
to answer our question before, 1 million seconds is 12 days. 1 billion seconds is 31 years.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like just the difference between million versus billion. Like it's like I said, it's almost
It's
you
like
almost
it's
can't
like thinking of
comprehend.
the idea of infinity.
right. Exactly. So this one is a chart. I can just talk about this one. The other one I want to pull up.
Okay.
So this one is a bar graph that goes sideways. So the more it goes out from left to right, the more money you have, basically.
Okay.
$65,000 salary, which is around the median for a U.S. worker, is 1 pixel wide. So just one pixel of your screen. So it barely comes off the main line.
No,
So it comes off by 1 pixel.
Even that for US, I feel like that's high. I feel like a lot of people don't make 65 grand a year.
$1 million is 16 pixels.
Okay.
So it comes off a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
$7.5 billion average wealth of the Forbes 400 people. So the Forbes top 400 people have $7.5 billion. That's 115,000 pixels and it stretches across 84 laptop screens. So 65,000 is one single line of pixels. 7.5 billion is 84 laptop screens of pixels.
That's crazy, dude.
Like, just again, to be able to comprehend,
you can't.
the difference between.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people out there that have 60, 70 billion. Like, before his divorce, Jeff Bezos had like 65 billion.
Yeah, he got divorced, and his wife's now the second richest person in the world.
That's crazy.
Like, look at that picture right there of Johnny Depp and Diego of Blow. They're just sitting in that room of cash, and they keep weighing it. They're like, no, 56.3.
Right.
Like,
and
that's $12 million in
I was
that
going to
now.
say, even that's fucking nothing. So I'm now pulling up another
How about that thing about fucking
visualization.
Escobar? Like, Escobar spent $1 million a year on rubber bands to keep his money together.
Unbelievable.
Like, if that's true, that's insane.
So this, and we have it up on the YouTube too.
We got our first copyright infringement last week. Holla.
Standard.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
From who?
The Joker movie.
Ah, fuck your mother.
So it was for.
Fuck out of here.
This shows dots for $50,000 and $50,000 increments. So $50,000 is one single dot. $1 million is what? 20 dots?
Yeah.
And this is $1 billion. This whole area down here.
That's crazy, dude.
Again, like you can't even comprehend it.
Yeah, you can't fathom that.
It's 1,000 millions. I know it sounds stupid.
No, but I get it, but that's just insane.
1,000 millions.
Right. Two more. These are two different stories.
1,000 millions.
Yeah.
I think personally, if I got $1 million right now, I'd be fine. But I'm only 28. I think I can make that stretch.
Oh, for sure.
So if you get $1 billion, you're like, all right, I'm like.
How long do you think you can make it stretch?
The $1 million?
Yeah.
I mean, with
Not the rest of your life.
It depends on what you do with
Depends on what you invest in and all that shit. Yeah.
Right.
Because you buy a house like a regular house. Let's say you buy a house for $250,000. Like, you're going to be fine because that house is paid for. Then you got $750,000 to play with that you can invest. It takes money to make money. So
Right.
if you
And
invest $100,000, you can make maybe 400.
It depends on what you're doing with it too. Like if you're spending it the way you spend money now, you can make it last. If you're say, hey, I got $1 million, let's go to fucking Bermuda for 3 months.
Yeah.
Bermuda cool. Like
let me buy a house.
Blue water, I think.
Let me buy a house
Right.
and
If
then
you
a
just
crazy.
live reasonable.
Right.
Buy a house and then a crazy car. And
The problem is,
cut in half.
I think we're just too young. It would be. Anyway, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. You'd have to continue living your life.
Yeah.
And working. So this is another visualization of $1 million or $1 billion. I'm sorry. So, let's pretend that. Hold on, let me see where I'm starting here. I'm trying to read this as I'm talking at the same time.
The graph. Let me describe this graph while you're looking. This graph, if like, it looks like the screen that goes to your window, like your bedroom window. It looks like the screen. That's how many dots there are.
Right. So imagine one of those dots is $50,000.
One of the dots on your
20 of them.
screen to your sliding door, your window, whatever. That's what $1 billion looks like compared to 1 million dot. Like the 1 million dots look like
It's 20 little dots.
a Pez.
Right. Right.
It's just so bizarre. Like, when you try to wrap your head around it, it's actually fucking nuts.
Like if you were to give a key bump that size to someone, they'd be like, "Yo, why you jipping me?"
That's how we base everything. in key bumps.
And if you were to do a key bump of $1 billion, you would need a snow shovel.
And $1 billion is the thing that Al Pacino puts down on the table, and the girl sticks her head in the mound.
He snorts it with a fucking butt funnel.
Okay, so the analogy of a staircase. Each step on the staircase represents $100,000 of net worth. So not what you remember. You subtract
it's not
what
liquid.
you owe. Right. You subtract what you owe from your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
So each single step is $100,000 of net worth. So half of the people in the United States are on not even a step up, or the very first step. Half of the 350 million people in the United States are either on the bottom step, or either on the floor, or the first step.
What goes into your net worth? Do you know?
Well, it makes sense
Everything.
because the other half are making fucking $18,000 a year.
Right. So if you have a $350 or $500,000 house and you owe $250 on it, your net worth is $250.
Right.
It's the remaining piece.
And then whatever
And
your
then
car, I
plus
guess.
It's
Yeah.
all your assets and everything.
Minus all of your liabilities,
Yeah,
which you
essentially.
owe on it. So half the people in the United States are on the base of the first step. Almost 200 million people who can't even get one step up in the system. So 200 million people are on the bottom or the first step.
And we're not downgrading people because life's fucking hard.
Yeah,
So,
I'm on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The
you.
households.
I'm not on the top step. Not even close. I rent every month.
The households at the 80th percentile, richer than 4/5 of Americans, are on the 5th step. So 5 steps up. Not bad.
No.
So that's what
That's
they say.
about-
Like 80% of Americans own, or the top 1% is
Right.
what? How many people?
Like, fucking not a lot.
300.
Like I forget what the exact stat was.
There's 300 billion. 1% of that's 300.
No, I'm saying for in America, like the top 1%.
Guys, I failed the math test
Yeah.
7 times.
Let me
love
just
of God.
let me just get through this. Hold on. So 4/5 of Americans are on the 5th step. That's about 5 seconds of walking to get up there. Bang, 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 bang. Done. Those with more money than 90% of fellow Americans, millionaires who are upper middle class or professional class, they live very comfortably. They're on the 11th step.
Okay.
A few more seconds of walking from the previous middle class step. Most Americans won't even come close to accumulating this much wealth over their entire lifetime of working.
Sure.
If you never spent a dime, you still probably won't be on the 11th step.
No.
A billionaire is 10,000 steps up. That's enough to walk up 5 Empire State Buildings. 3 hours of nonstop walking. So, and it says, you think they care about the petty squabbles of anyone on the first few steps or so? They don't give a fuck about what's...
They don't give a shit about anything, man.
Yeah.
Why would you?
10,000 steps up. They can't even fucking see
Like,
us.
why is Bloomsburg running for president?
Right, exactly.
What do you have to
That
prove?
might have been what I was thinking. Like the top 1% in this country has 90% of the money.
Right. So
then-
that's just a billionaire. 10,000 steps up. Jeff Bezos. I think this was before his divorce, by the way, but
Doesn't matter.
he's so high up.
He's in heaven.
It only makes sense to describe his staircase in distance. It takes him 133 miles of staircase to get to where Jeff Bezos is.
So what's that from, like, L.A. to Philly back to Texas?
It's more than halfway to the space station, is what it is.
133 miles?
That's more than 24 consecutive Mount Everests stacked on top of each other. It would take walking nonstop, no sleep, over 2 weeks to get up that high. Each single step worth more than 5 poverty levels in America combined. God. Because remember, 80%, if you're richer than 80% of Americans, you're on the 5th step. 5 seconds of walking versus 133 miles it takes you to get to fucking where Jeff Bezos is.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Now,
But hey, it all started in the garage, just like you two.
that's right. So
You're on your way.
So now, last but not least, this one's a little bit, believe it or not, this one's a little bit longer, but I think it's going to put what we're choosing for our top 5 in perspective.
Okay.
This kind of put it in a fucking perspective for me right here. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm more of a visual learner.
That's right. So this is a story about a guy that works with extremely, extremely ultra wealthy people, like hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. So he breaks down the differences in how much money you have. And this is where let's get back to the can money buy love situation, because you'll hear that at the end. But to be able to see, if you have $1 billion, what can you do with it? Where do you fall in line with all the other billionaires versus all the hundreds of millionaires and all that kind of stuff? Because you're thinking, I'm going to have fucking 20 jet skis. No, you're not. That's like if you have like $10 million.
Yeah.
Like you're on the wrong scale. Because
My top 5 is gonna blow.
again, people don't realize. That's why I want to say like how much fucking money this is. Like you don't realize what you're buying with $1 billion. You're not buying jet skis because you bought it fucking 20 years ago. You know what
Well,
I mean? It didn't matter.
I looked at the top 5 as what I could do with it. Not
Right? No, for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be different because
I thought-
I gotta explain myself.
Are you looking at like what you like? All right, so
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me go through how he
Because
breaks down
the
different levels of net worth. So 10 to 30 million, a lot of money.
That's light.
At this level, you're living very comfortably, 4 or 5 star. You can book a $2,000 suite for a special occasion, do whatever the fuck you want there. Fly first class internationally sometimes. You know, that's a fucking $30,000 ticket depending on where you're going.
Sometimes you got $10 million, dude. You can fly.
Oh, you also got to make it through the rest of your life too.
Yeah, dude, settle down.
Very
How old are
nice, very nice house. Affordable health care. There's no emergency situation that's going to destroy your life. You're super rich. You still have to money matters a little bit, but for the most part, for the stuff that we're thinking of, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
So the next level is 30 to 100 million.
My top 5 is so stupid.
My top 5 is pathetic.
Yeah.
So
So we might
stupid.
want to stop at this and rethink of it if you want. But 30 to 100 million. You start playing with the big boys. You can fly private. You might charter a flight. You might not own a jet yet. You might own a jet depending on what you're spending the rest of your
And what's
money
this?
on.
100 million?
30 to 100. Yeah.
It's a big gap.
You can do dope shit like ski in, ski out, villa in Aspen for Christmas. You can go to that Cannes festival that they do in Entourage. Stuff like that's like 50 to 20,000 per night.
Is it Can or Con?
Con, whatever.
James
Oh,
Caan,
that's
great
from-
actor.
It's
Yeah,
from the
joke.
episode.
Yeah. You go to Monaco for the Grand Prix. Like you can do dope shit like that.
I don't want you to downplay these things though. I know you're getting higher,
Right.
but like for someone
That's
to
what I'm
be
saying.
like
It's super fucking
for
dope.
someone to be like, "Oh, you can play with the big boys now from 30 to 100." Hey pal.
Right.
Yeah, I can do whatever I. Because guess what? Once you hit like 10 million, you can do whatever you want.
Right. And that's why I want to kind of go through this because that's what we're thinking. Because you can.
Yeah.
But wait till you get higher.
Sure.
Like we
I
can.
just don't want to downplay this where like people think, or I don't know what I'm getting at. But
10. It's like we can obviously because we live our lives
yeah, I
differently.
don't hang out with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
so-
like I wasn't like we weren't
Go ahead.
we weren't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
born into that. So like we know the value of money.
Exactly.
So I got 10 million. Yeah, I know it's a lot of fucking money, and I can do what I want, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
be a scumbag about it.
I wasn't. Yeah, I don't have the trust fund of a little fucking piece
yeah,
of shit.
I'm not going to spend the 10 million in 2 days.
Right. So we're still at 30 to 100 million. You can go wherever you want. For the most part, you might not be able to get the best table at the best restaurant, but you're going to get the second best, or you're going to get the dope table at maybe not the top restaurant in the world. You can buy any car you want. You're starting to have personal assistants, and you're starting to have other people around you that people have to talk to first before they talk to you.
That would be so sick, actually.
Yeah.
That would be so dope. Talk to my man real quick.
Just because like you don't want to deal with bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many
Right.
people would come to me and be like, "I have this great idea." I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know what's going on with my like just
Do me a favor. Tell Frank.
talk
see if he
to
likes-
talk to so and so. Not not trying to like put you down, but like I don't know if that's a good investment, dude.
For sure. Right.
Like knock it off.
The next scale is 100 million, or 100 million to $1 billion. It's a huge range, but the guy says there's basically no difference between 200 and 900 million. Like if you
Right.
in
Everything.
terms
Yeah.
of what you can do.
Everything's free.
Right. So at this point, you have a private jet, multiple residents, all of them are full staff, elite cars everywhere. At this point, you probably have an ownership or a significant control stake in a business that most people in the public have heard of. So you're talking about like you own a lot of GM, like
Yeah.
you know what I
Part
mean?
of the
Apple.
company.
Like it's not like some small
Yeah.
company that no one's heard of. You might not get a specific invite to every party, but you can go to every one if you wanted to.
I love that that's on there. That's fucking
Yeah,
astounding.
you definitely have people and staff,
Because the ego is what gets me.
Yeah.
right? And
Like,
that's
oh no,
how,
I got to go to this party. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
well,
No.
that's how it happens. Like
It's just once you have
Stuff-
money, it's all ego. Like you're a
Yeah.
nerd.
basically stuff gets replaced with influence.
Yeah, okay.
As you get more and more money.
Right.
Then you make the money through the influence. People are like, oh, I'll give you 200 grand to come to this party. You're like, oh, I don't really want to, but
at this point, you definitely have people on staff. The world is full of your yes men. Everyone, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Yeah,
of course. And yes, bitches. You know they're fucking sucking at the teat. You better be married before you get rich.
Anything for a bump.
Again, that's another theme when we get up higher.
Up higher?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
We're at $1 billion right now.
You own a private island, starting to be cool.
Yo, Epstein, easy.
But it depends. But it depends on the island. So this is where we're starting to get to the point where, like,
does it though?
Yeah, everyone owns a fucking island, you asshole. Where do you own it? You own it in Canada? Oh, get the fuck out of here, you fucking loser. You know what I mean? Like
that's ridiculous.
That kind of stuff starts to matter. You're having dinner with this one senator at your house. Well, I had dinner with the president. Like you're a loser. You know what I mean?
That's the gap from the 200 to 900 or 200 to $1 billion.
Well, that's what starts to happen in this range. Like, if we're all in this range,
that's where the ego comes in.
I'm telling you, like, yeah, I just had dinner with this big senator.
I played golf with Obama.
Yeah, exactly. So you beat me out, and they're like, oh, fuck, you played golf with Obama.
That's the ego part of it.
Exactly.
That's definitely, it's all ego. I just imagine these dudes being nerds at this point.
Right, so at this point, one thing that gets rare at this level, friends and family that love you for who you are. So it's starting to get more and more rare that people are like, no, I just like hanging out with you, not I want to do dope shit with you.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Then over $1 billion, he said he excludes the greater than $10 billion crowd because we're starting to get into head of state stuff.
Yeah.
So like Obama he might not have $10 billion, but he's in that world where he has people who are protecting him. He can go wherever, he can do whatever he wants. He can fucking...
Yeah, I think Obama's a bad example even. Like, he might even... Well, he's a ex-president, so yeah.
Right, heads of state.
Like, because he doesn't have money.
Kings and presidents.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not about what he can spend the money on. It's about what he gets access to. He can go and do whatever the fuck he wants. Is somebody going to not let Obama come to their fucking party?
Well, no.
It's fucking Obama.
That's different, yeah.
Right. So that's the whole $10 billion crowd is they can do whatever they want. So the $1 billion to $10 billion essentially. You can buy anything, and that's anything.
Yeah, anything.
So he categorizes it.
You can leave her.
One is access. And he tells a story about how he was working with this one billionaire who thought that this new investment would be cool with this other billionaire. And he was like, oh, I never met him before. Give him a call. And he said within an hour, that guy called him back. Because it doesn't matter who you don't know. They know you're a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. Let's talk.
Yeah,
we'll figure something out.
Doing something right.
Right. Influence. You're meeting with governors and senators and presidents on the whim.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want to have dinner with you tomorrow. Okay, I'll clear my schedule. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to make way for whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Time. You literally never have to wait for anything. You want to fly somewhere, you maybe take your chopper to the airport, you walk up on the plane, and within 2 minutes you're on the air. Because the people are there waiting for you.
Yeah, they wait for you.
You want to go out to eat, you have your driver pull up at the front of the restaurant. You walk in. They have the table set up, the best table set up for you. They walk you in the back. The celebrity chef comes out. He greets you. He asks you what you want. He goes in the back, personally makes it. You finish. You walk out. Your driver's sitting there. Even if you've been there for fucking 4 hours, you get back in the car. You go home. You do whatever you got to do. Everything is on your time. Mm-hmm. Everyone's waiting for you. You don't have to wait for anybody.
That's probably the best part, honestly.
Well, I think this is probably the best part.
All right.
Experiences. You want to play tennis with Pete Sampras? Make a donation to his charity. He'll play tennis with you. You want Blink-182 to perform at your birthday party? Give him a call.
You can do that for less than what this money is, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, just the idea that you're going to drop $100,000 on just a guy coming here.
Yeah, but you can do that for less than where we're at.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Can the other people afford it? Yeah, but then that cuts back on the other things that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This guy you can play
It's the,
tennis
convenience
Sampras.
too. Just like, all right, I want to play tennis with Pete Sampras. Here's $1 million.
Right.
Well, they can overpay for anything if they want.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
You can
to
do
get-
that. You can do that in the afternoon, and then have Blink-182 at your house performing later on, and then hang out with Obama for dinner. You know what I mean? Like, the people below that can't do all that. They might be able to do one of those things and then be like, yo, did you see my 30th birthday party? Blink-182 was there.
I think your personality can get you a lot more than some money can.
What do you mean?
So like you don't like people will clear their schedule if you're like a popular, cool guy. Like if like.
Right, but you have to have the money there first.
Sure.
I can be super cool.
All right, how about this? Donald Trump has way more money than Sylvester Stallone. But I bet you Blink-182 be like, fuck yeah, we're going to Sly Stallone's house.
Right, okay. But he's still paying them. Yeah, so I see what
But
you're
they
saying.
both can afford them.
Right.
Because like you said, once you get to a certain point of money, it doesn't matter. Like you said, from 200 to 900, Sly Stallone has way more than 200 million. So what's the difference? It's at that point, it's people like picking and choosing who they
And
like.
the thing is, if you got that type of money, you're
how much
probably,
would Blink-182 cost?
No, I'm saying
80 grand,
if
something
you
like
got $200 million, you're obviously it's not $1 billion, but you're still not worried about spending because you're going to make it back because you probably have done some.
Yeah.
You probably have done something with that money to make
You're not
it back
capped
within.
off when you own 15% of Microsoft.
Right.
Your income. What do you think? Like your income. Like it's not like you get a check every week, but you have to get something. So like, do you get like all right for like football players who make a bunch of money, like they get paid on Mondays after their game, and you get a check for whatever $185,000 every Monday. What is it like when you own 15% of Microsoft or Facebook, and all of a sudden you're just like,
Right, then it's just your stock. It's just
right, like, oh, $15 million was just deposited into your so-and-so, and you're just like, what? It's like, not your checking account. Where's it go?
right.
You
They're
know-
probably paying you in stock at that point.
But where does it go? Honestly, though,
Yeah, where does it go?
because
Like
no
a
bank,
brokerage account.
because
They're
no
probably-
bank can just house.
Banks
60
don't have enough money for some of these
to
people.
just house $60 million.
Right, you wouldn't want to either.
No,
It's probably going in a brokerage account. Like I said, they're probably getting paid 200 shares of Facebook. You know what I mean?
So, like, the money's not even real anymore at that
No.
point. It's just like a computer number.
Nope.
yeah.
It's not physically printed. Like,
It's all accounting.
you can have it if you really need it, but where can you ever go and be like, all right, guys, this is an emergency. I need $20 million in cash. You're like, we
No.
can't do that.
Can't do it like right now.
But like saying, like, you have so much credit built, like, you can use,
Yeah.
like, you're good for
Yeah,
it
you
because,
got-
like,
you probably
it's
got-
all credit. They'll never be able to be like, yo,
Probably
we
got
need-
40 fucking black cards. And I mean,
right?
just
'cause
toss them
what are you
out
gonna
like
buy?
nothing.
I need the money. I'm not buying this $10 million car. They're like, but you're not giving them a duffel bag with
No,
money in it.
yeah.
So impact, you can literally change the world and change lives. So this is Bill Gates, like, has given away more
yeah.
money than he's currently worth.
He's been like what attributed to saving like 600 some lives or something like that
Oh, way
I don't
more than
know.
that.
Yeah, it's got to be more than that.
because of the money he's spent on cancer research.
he spent more money than he currently has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
the
you can
thing
literally
because
change.
he makes it like by the second. Like
yeah.
it's fucking ridiculous.
Clean
There-
water for a whole village forever, done. Like,
Did-
a dying child needs a transplant. Fuck it, let's build a fucking hospital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it don't matter.
Well, that was on the. Did you watch Netflix Inside Bill Gates or whatever?
No.
So it's all about him starting the Clean Water Fund for the thing in Africa. It's
Right.
him and
Yeah,
his.
some of those wells and shit. I'd definitely buy a
It's,
couple wells.
it's
for sure.
him. It's him and his wife, and they just go into depth on how he created like
Why wouldn't you? I would do that
toilets with like no plumbing. It's like all
Right.
fucking crazy. It's a really good docuseries. It's like 4 parts or whatever, but it's really good.
Right.
But that dude is fucking bone dry, just the most dull person in the world, and it's crazy.
And then it talks about how it can't buy love, because at this level, everywhere you go, there is smoke show women
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
pumped
Everywhere
into
you go.
every event, every
Fake
place
best
that you're
friends.
at. Exactly.
Dude, there's smoke
Um,
show women around here. So if you go somewhere and they say, oh, they find out this guy has $1 billion.
At a certain point, you can't hide it either.
Yeah.
Right.
How
They
you
know
gonna
who you are.
hide where? Yeah, I mean,
But they also talk about perspective. So the wealthiest person that this dude worked with made $400 million a year. So to get your mind around that,
That's so crazy.
let's compare it to somebody that makes $40,000 a year. If that person wants a new Lambo, costs $235,000, to that person that makes $40,000 a year, it's like costing $23.50. Imagine $20. Like here, keep the change. I don't give a fuck. And you have a new Lambo. First class ticket international, $10,000 becomes $1. Why wouldn't you fly first class at that point?
No, I'd buy the whole front of the plane.
Exactly.
Like
I'm gonna lay out. I'm gonna get horizontal up in this bitch.
Full-time executive level helper, $8,000 a month becomes 80 cents. Why would you not have fucking 10 of them? A $10 million piece of art you love costs $10 fucking million. That's like costing $1,000 to that other person. So you got to plan a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can find a way to spend $1,000 as it making $40,000. A suite at the best hotel in New York City, again $10,000. It's $1. Why would I not be staying there?
I want the whole, like I said, I want the whole floor.
I
don't want somebody shooting a gun through the wall trying to get me.
A $50 million home
Smoking Aces
in the Hamptons. $50 million home in the Hamptons, $5,000. Again, you might have to plan a little bit.
And I'm gutting it.
But
I wanted new.
Right.
I need a 25-foot deck.
Yeah.
So with that being said, as you guys got a little bit,
my list isn't changing because it just can't. I don't know. I can't. There's nothing I can even think of. Well, it's not in my personality.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's hard for us to even perceive it. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to come up with the top 5.
Like all of my stuff together probably doesn't even add up to like $1 million. Like, but it's just like that's how because I can't.
We'll do it.
Because I can't think of shit that costs that much money because I will never have it. I never thought of it before.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's all perspective at that point, and it's hard to keep in mind how much stuff costs. So I did all that research, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So I have some crazy shit in mind. And depending on how I handle some of them, it might be over $1 billion. So I would have to plan accordingly if I wanted to do them all. If I didn't want to do them all, then I want to put more into one.
Yeah.
You'll see what I mean by it. But
so let's break it down.
Break it down now.
So our top 5, it can't go over $1 billion, essentially.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, I was just thinking of things what I would do if I had the money that just like didn't give a fuck.
Right, exactly. That's what the top 5 is.
Okay.
And again, depending on how much money I put into each of my top 5 numbers, it could definitely go over $1 billion.
Yeah. Well, I know mine will. But
that's what I'm saying. If I wanted to handle it and do all of them, then I would do all of them and plan accordingly, basically. So, like I said, I with the perception that I just or the outline that I just laid out.
Yeah.
I still like my top 5. I don't know how you guys feel about yours, but
I mean, I just feel like after reading all that or after hearing all that stuff, I'm just like, I could probably do a lot more, but I can't think of it honestly because I'm just not in that mindset. Like I don't. It's a lot different when you have the money,
right?
Which I do not have.
Yeah. So what's your number 5?
All right, number 5.
What do you got?
So, my number 5.
Yeah, like I said, all right. I was just going to the bathroom. Yeah, it's hard to put into comprehension because like personalities would have a lot to do with it. I think everybody's top 5 could be a lot different if we grew up a different way.
Yeah, if I had the trust fund, and I was born.
If you were born and your beach house was at the Hamptons, it would be a different type of.
Yeah,
right.
Because my top 5 would be like, all right, I'm gonna hop in my chopper and go here and throw a big ass fucking party.
All right, well, yeah.
That costs $2 million or whatever it is.
Right.
But it's like,
right. That's nothing. That's
my party.
Exactly.
2 of those.
I'm throwing a party, and Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are coming. Like to me, would never cross my mind that I would want that to happen.
Right.
I could care less.
But again,
like,
that would be 20 of those little dots.
Because even if you get into that level, you start throwing those parties. That's because we're talking about musicians, actors, and shit like that. People who know each other in the same circles who are famous. What would be perfect is we talked about this. You want to be rich. I could care less about being famous.
Yeah.
You want to be rich. I don't need to.
I want to be able to walk down the street.
I don't need the drama of being like, oh shit, there goes Leonardo DiCaprio. Like you don't. That's not fun.
Yeah, you see him out and about, and he's got like a hood and sunglasses on, and he's like trying to keep his head
like
down.
Post Malone probably has a dope life, but if you ask him, he'd be like, ugh, it's exhausting.
Probably is.
Can't go anywhere. What's your number 5?
All right, number 5. Ooh, excuse me. I have a bunch of honorable mentions though, because it was just like everything I thought of.
Say whatever you want.
My top 5. I'm traveling with Guy Fieri everywhere he goes on Triple D on Diners, Drive-Ins, Dives, and I'm fucking trying every single food for.
No, you are Guy Fieri.
A year.
That's what it should be.
For
I'm taking over Guy Fieri.
I'll take over Guy Fieri's job.
I'll buy the station,
and
now that's me.
Everywhere because this dude
that was on my bucket list.
Dude just travels and just eats for free, and he's like, he has how many restaurants, whatever. He's definitely well off
for sure.
Dude was on Hard Knocks this year with the Raiders, I would just do that.
And he does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the adjustment to $1 billion. I'll buy the station.
Yeah.
And I fired Guy Fieri, and now that's me. If nobody watches it, I don't give a fuck.
Because I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true.
What?
$1 billion buys the Food Network, and then you get yourself on Triple D.
Not the Food Network, but I could probably go in there and be like, all right, I'll do this.
Yeah, you buy something.
I'm definitely following them in my own Camaro and hitting up everything. Yo, make 2.
I'm bringing Kid Rock on also.
Fuck yeah. Ball with the ball, bang, bang, dang.
Did you see his shit this past weekend?
You
didn't see that?
Oh,
he was at his own bar in wherever the fuck it is, and it's got the longest name in bar history.
Ball with the ball.
It's called it's literally called Kid Rock's Barbecue Honky Tonk Kick Ass something bar. And this dude was smashed on stage, doing a performance, and he just went on a rant about Oprah. Just 10, 15-minute rant about how big of a piece of shit she is and everything. His own security had to come and get him off stage. He was just so fucked up.
That ain't gonna do it.
My number 5 is go to the moon. I'm gonna talk to NASA.
Okay, our list is gonna be way different.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna chime in on that because that was my 3.
Nice.
Because that is not the moon, but
right. Oh well, that's fine if you don't want to go to the moon.
Because
I didn't want to just go to the space station though, because I feel like they're gonna be like, here it is, let's get back, and then
no,
nah,
but that's
nah. I pay for this.
That's a thing. That's
right.
It's supposed to be happening in 2020. It's Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson. They're all putting their money in, and you can take a 17-minute orbital ride. And it costs $200,000 or whatever it is, but
right.
We got
That's what I'm saying. I'll do it by myself.
Yeah, you got $1 billion, whatever.
A couple mil.
That was my number 3.
Okay.
That was my number 3. Yeah, fuck yeah. Why would you not want to go to space if you can?
I definitely want to go. Would want to go to
what
space.
What would you? Why?
Just because.
Because you can. At that point, you got the money. Fuck it. You might as well.
Oh, you could say that for every single thing that we say because I can. I need something. You can do anything.
But I would just want to experience space. Being weightless.
I don't care how gay it sounds. I would like to just look at the Earth from up top.
Yeah.
It probably looks cool as shit with the clouds. And you're like, oh, there's about to be a storm right there.
Yeah.
And you have no idea.
Somebody call Montana. There's a storm.
I went skydiving, and that's not even as close as high.
Nah.
So seeing the everything from that high up, I can't imagine
being
out of the Earth.
Right.
Was that the most scared you've ever been in your life? That was the most scared I've ever been in my life.
Absolutely
skydiving.
Not.
Honestly.
Have you ever seen a baby come out of your fucking wife's fucking asshole?
No, but we have different lives. But at the time,
talk about being scared.
At the time, I was very scared skydiving, and I had to put on a front. I was like, yeah, I'm cool. And then we jumped out, and I shit myself. Almost.
But I do want to go to the moon.
It was a lot of fun.
But I don't even want to say my 5. I didn't even
It's buy a jet ski, I swear to God.
No, because, like I said, with our personalities, I was just thinking different shit and
Because you're thinking of stuff that costs. At least I was. I was like, damn, this probably costs $100,000.
Everything on this list, I'm thinking million. A couple would be all right. I guess I'll throw this one in here.
Well, don't reorganize. Because maybe we can make adjustments.
Well, you know what? No, because you know what? This is my personality and. It is what it is. I didn't really comprehend what $1 billion was.
Right.
I can easily do all of this.
Till you saw the dots on the screen.
I can easily do all this, but I guess just something I want, And none of this is connected to my house. Like none of this will have anything to do with my house. My house is my house. I want separate things here.
Okay.
So this one is just like I wanted to open up my own basketball gym. Like an actual basketball gym, like with a basketball court and shit.
Like
So-
for you or for like everybody?
Um,
So like attach it to you, like put it in your backyard,
but the
or
thing
like
is, it would be so dumb. I was thinking like a couple courts.
Right.
Like just having one court would be like so. That would be so. If I was just going to do one court, I might as well just have it at my house. Because like
right.
you would
So what's the purpose of the court?
because there's like no indoor courts to play at. You know what I mean? Like not everybody wants to go to LA Fitness, and not everybody can afford fucking lifetime gym memberships.
Right.
So I'm thinking of like opening up 3 inside courts, like this big ass gymnasium, straight. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, they have those wall things. So if there was like a
The
volleyball
Blue Barn in
tournament,
Marlton.
so I want a basketball gym. I'm thinking 3 courts, and then I'm thinking 3 courts outside.
Okay.
I think that'd be so sick because people don't get. It's hard to get gym time
April through September.
to play. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it'd be nice like to just have places for people to play
Right, and that's what I was saying. That's like
because they're never regulation size gym like LA Fitness. You have to shoot from like the fucking walls. We play at Turner's, which is a fucking
Oh my god, the radiators still on the fucking
blow out
walls.
your ACL.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like a cool gym, like you open
Distant?
up. Distant Rec, of course. That's the same thing as Turner's. I would want to open up a basketball gym.
There's
Right,
no
that's
there's
for, like,
no
leagues.
out of bounds. The only out of bounds if it hits the wall.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. That's like the Blue Barn in Marlton or Medford.
Right.
Marlton.
yeah. I would want a gym.
They have the 3 courts on the inside with the thing that
Mm-hmm.
they can drop down. Then they have a couple courts outside, and there's like park.
But the good thing
area,
about having a
top
bunch of different courts is that there can be levels. Obviously, there could be like the college guy, like out of college,
Yeah.
like good ballers where they can showcase and play. I'm not in that league. We're
Right.
in
You
the
have
spring.
to organize it.
Like right, there's courts like court 1, court 2, court 3, and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there would have to be levels, and then of course outside. But
It's A and B team. A, B.
yeah,
There you go.
because you need different leagues. You can't be like, oh, you want to sign up for the spring league, and then OJ Mo's retired and he's playing with you. You know what I mean? I can't have that.
Yeah.
When Sebastian
Number 4.
Telfair gets out of jail, he's
Yeah,
just like
DeJuan Wagner's fucking slicing and dicing everybody at 40.
halftime he's just
Mm-hmm.
selling drugs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Number 4.
All right, this is gonna sound so degenerate, and I don't even care. But I would probably take. And I wasn't thinking about it until I
know
just saw
it's
this
tough.
thing.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
I was like, because in my head at first I was like, all right, I'm gonna take $1 million, which is
Nothing.
all right. So now I'll take $20 million, and I will just take the biggest bet ever. I would just take,
That's a cool one.
but on like something crazy. I would take like a 12-team parlay that like.
Right. That'll win you
Like-
$500 billion.
Yeah, like you have no shot of winning. Like 12-team parlay, all underdogs or something like that. Just to feel that
or just to be
fucking
able
rush.
to put fucking $20 million on black.
Yeah, just anything like something
Spin
huge. Yeah, just something huge. So you just feel that
I like
rush
that one,
of like,
actually.
That was my
Oh,
number one
shit.
on my bucket list. I want to make a huge bet.
Right. But
And-
at the time we were talking about $5,000-$10,000.
Right. That's like
Now we're
something
talking
real
about
like
20
that.
million.
I mean, it wouldn't. I'd be gambling on everything.
Right.
like if I could just go, well, anywhere now. But if I take $20 million, like all right, black 13 or something.
Like saying
oh,
like my
shit.
big bets now are like I bet $50 and $100. Like all my bets would be $100 grand.
Yeah.
Right.
Every bet would be
Because
$100
why
grand.
not?
But just say
It's
you put it
two of
on.
those. It's 2 of those dots.
Nothing.
Just say you put like black 13. You're just sitting there, just waiting for that ball to drop. You're like, oh fuck, like that.
Yeah.
That feeling would probably, or even like watching a game. Put $20 million
On something stupid. Ben Simmons to score the next basket.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Put $20 million on the
All right. There's
the
a
Dolphins to beat the Eagles. You're like, I got no shot at this.
because this
Yeah.
one's gonna get crossed out. This is retarded.
My next one is I would want a house everywhere that I want to be at. So, like, if I like it down in Miami, I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to have staff there. That's my shit. If I like it in fucking Aspen, Colorado, I'm going to go skiing. I'm going to buy a house there. I'm going to buy a house in Southern California. I'm going to buy a house in Texas. I'm going to buy one in Jersey. That way, it's always my shit. I don't have
Yeah,
to
you
worry
don't have
about
to rent
renting
none.
anything. I don't
Okay.
have to worry about, oh, do you think they're going to have sheets there? Or should we bring
Yeah.
them? Nah. I will have sheets because it's my house.
Yeah.
I left them there.
10,000 Egyptian cotton.
And you don't have to worry about renting it out again. Like, oh, you see if we can make some money back. We'll put it up on Airbnb. Is someone staying there? Oh, somebody's staying there that week? Oh, no, I'm going to go. And it's going to be maintained by staff, so it's not going to be like, oh, did you turn the heat up a little bit in the Aspen house because the pipes are going to freeze?
And again,
No,
as I look at this thing, like each house could cost $50 million, and it's like you still got a lot to play with. You know what I mean?
And what are you going to do with a $50 million
That's
house?
what I'm
Right.
saying.
That
That's
doesn't
what I'm
even
saying.
make
So
sense.
you buy a $3 million house, you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever.
Because you're only going to be there for a
anything you
week.
need. Yeah.
But there's a house everywhere that you need to go or everywhere that you like to go. So that, I mean, I can still travel other places.
Yeah,
Let's go to fucking Madrid. I don't have a house there. It's
Right.
cool here. Oh, it's nice here. I'm going to buy a house here. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter.
Make sure you have a fucking passport, huh? Because, all right, so there's these were in my mind, but now that I have this type of money, they will make more sense. Because these are, like, tapping into, like, some franchises. I would love to own a Topgolf. That'd be sick. Because Topgolf is the shit. I love Topgolf, but it's a little too expensive to go on the reg.
It is expensive because you're like, it's one of those games where it's like, I compare it to bowling, but the difference is bowling, you can, like, sit around and take your time. Like, I can throw my shot, and then I can come back and bullshit with you guys and be like, who's up? Like, what's going on? You do that at Topgolf because you rent by the hour. So
Yeah.
you're like, who's up? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I got 3 more shots. Adamski,
Plus,
you ready?
bowling's a lot cheaper than Topgolf.
No. I'm just saying in
I
terms
know.
of, like, you're going out with your
Because, like,
friends
if we
and
go to
playing.
pin setters, you're all right. The
Yeah.
lane's what? $10 an hour? $15 an hour?
about it.
Topgolf's, you're getting up there. But to own a Topgolf, number one, you're making a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
2, what a dope spot. Like, so every time you show up, you're like, no, we got the roof. Like,
Yeah.
It's just a great concept.
it's just a great
Lane-
concept.
What are they called? They're not lanes.
Base.
Pods.
Bays. I got Bay 37. Don't ever
Yeah.
rent out Bay 37.
nobody's even
because
allowed
when I
in
want
it.
to show up, I want Bay
Yeah,
37.
when we were talking like how it kind of is expensive. I would like order a beer and it would take a while. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck is taking so
and you're
long
like,
here?
this is cutting into my hour.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's why you get
$50
the
an
bucket.
hour.
You got to get the buckets.
I'm like, yo, I want to drink while I'm golfing, like, and they're taking like,
Take your grand old time.
Yeah.
No, I'll get it, guys. I'll get it.
Like,
Don't
come
worry
on.
about it.
I want to drink while I'm golfing. Right now.
yeah.
That's a good one. Number 3.
Mine was go to space. So
Oh, yeah. My number 3 is I need to get to all these houses, right? So I want a plane. I don't want a fucking G5. That's for losers. I want a 747. I want to rip everything out, and I want to redo the whole inside like people would do with like a bus or like an RV or something like
Yeah.
that. I want it to be set up. Hopefully, I don't know, 747 obviously is a big plane, but I don't know if it's the one like the double-decker ones.
Yeah, I don't know much about planes, honestly.
If I can get a double-decker joint, I can live up there. Let's just fly around for a little bit because they have those planes that will refuel you in the air.
yeah,
Fuck it, let's just fly around. I got 2 floors in my plane.
that's fire.
Let's set it up real dope-like, all real dope-like,
Wow.
and then just fucking hang out. But I would be using it also to get to all my houses and stuff.
I
All
feel
those
like that's how
places.
people run out of $1 billion.
Definitely. Definitely. Because that
Because
shit costs
that's
a lot of money.
$350 million for everything you just asked.
Done. Yeah.
Because gas alone's probably like $250,000 to fill up every time you want to fly.
Definitely.
Yeah, right. To gas a
That,
boat,
and then you need a hangar to put the fucking
Well, that's what I
plane
was
in.
gonna say. First, to just buy it is probably like fucking $300 million.
to gas a
Kind of
boat's
plane
like
I'm talking about.
That's how you run out of $1 billion.
to gas like a regular boat's like $600. So to
Right.
gas that is probably like ridiculous.
And then you have to get another pilot to fly up in the sky and fuel you up.
Yeah.
A trained Air Force pilot who's just hanging around waiting for you. That's how you burn through $1 billion.
Damn right I'm going to.
It was a good year, though. All right, where am I
Guys,
at?
I think I'm going to have to sell my plane.
All right, so mine's now it's starting to get weird. Because all right, I know what my 1 is, so I can make this my 3. But my number 2. All right,
You already do your... Oh, yeah, you did your...
yeah. So my
No,
number
this is
3
your
is so it'd be like, see, this is just me like kind of creating little goofy businesses, I guess. But like, it's funny that we just did it our last top 5. It would be so dope to own like a fucking sick ass arcade. But like I had the control of it because not only I don't want arcade where it's just like all pinball machines and shit like that. Like
Nah.
I'm talking the Madden challenge comes once a year here. Like, yeah, there's arcade, but there's also, you know,
like a mini stadium type thing.
right? Like it's like, all right, here's 70-inch TV.
Like that EA Sports, like the EA Sports channel
Right.
is bingo,
So
essentially.
here's 10 PS4s.
Right. It's the EA Sports thing that they're building combined with Xfinity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you put those two things together.
Sure.
That's what you want.
Right. So like here's the 10 PlayStation, here's the Xbox, whatever, and like imagine having like Call of Duty tournaments. Like people come to like the gaming. It would have to be like the basketball court size. Like
Yeah, it's got to
the
be huge.
gaming-
It's got to be huge.
Yeah.
People don't realize how
bigger
big. People don't realize how big that sector is. Like the
Gaming's
gaming
huge.
sector is huge.
But like
Yeah.
where like teams, like how many people would love to be like, yo, we're getting in that whatever tournament. We're headed down to
Right. But then just have like
the
a
garage
huge bar
arcade.
area too.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course, there's allowed to be all that stuff, food and drink. But
That's a good one. That just sounds like a lot of fun. That's
fuck yeah, dude.
And that's what it's about at this point.
Yeah,
It's having
right.
fun.
Yeah,
I just love
I'm
gaming.
flying around in circles in a plane.
Yeah.
So
Have
it's all
fun,
about
bro.
having fun.
yeah.
We're down here having a Madden tourney.
You want to jump out the plane? Go ahead. Go ahead. Number 2.
My number 2. And this is, if possible, because I don't know how many are actually worth less than $1 billion, but I would definitely buy a sports franchise.
Motherfucker. That's my number 2.
It depends on
A sports franchise?
Yeah.
A
So,
billion might not cut it.
That's what I'm
So-
saying. I feel like there's only a couple.
I looked it up.
Especially if you bought that plane. They ain't got much money left over.
Well, that's why I said about mine. Like,
Yeah.
it depends on what. If I'm also going to buy a sports franchise, maybe I buy a lesser share, and maybe I buy a smaller plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would. But if I can't buy a sports franchise, I'm gonna buy a better plane. You know what I mean? I would wiggle around.
Like I'm
with
sure
it.
there's teams that are
But-
less than $1 billion.
So here it is.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah, most of hockey is less than $1 billion. That's it.
Nah, there's got to be something.
That's why it's all partners.
Yeah.
Jay-Z can't buy his own team. First of all, you have to be
the NBA
accepted.
Yeah. So the NBA their last team just went over $1 billion. I want to say 2 years ago.
Who? Pelicans or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, some like Pelicans or the Hornets or
Somebody irrelevant.
yeah.
Oh, trash.
The MLB was a couple years ago, and then the
Well,
NFL
I know.
obviously before
Yeah,
that.
because Magic. Well, I feel like the Marlins probably got to be like.
No, I think they do all right. They pay their dudes a boatload of money, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, but like
And they just built that dope ass stadium. So
The Hard Rock.
It
Is that
depends-
Hard Rock too? Is that in Miami? Because I know Hard Rock is.
I want
for
to see how
Dolphins.
much it would, because I feel like the Marlins are so bad.
No, I bet you it's.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's fucking
it doesn't matter.
a major league baseball
It's
team.
165 games.
Yeah, but they don't. They're selling out like never.
Don't matter. It's the TV contracts. They don't give a fuck about who shows up.
And you have to
But-
be accepted to be an owner.
But I'd also be I'd definitely be okay buying a hockey team. I don't care.
1.2 billion for the Marlins.
Yeah.
So I'm not far off.
No.
So if I invest,
But I'd also
if
I mean we can
invest
go in
right,
together.
Yeah. So you need to borrow $200 million from somebody to buy the team because you only have a bill.
Right. But also
Tough life.
maybe you just buy a piece of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll buy a piece of the Eagles. I'll buy a piece of the Sixers.
Let me buy Laurie's wife's half
Right.
so we can get New Jersey,
There you
for
go.
Christ's sakes.
Finally. I'll buy the
Fucking
Sixers
good.
and tell them not to go those stupid fucking city
Can
uniforms.
we get
every
a little
year.
more creative here, guys? Can we get a designer to come in and help us out?
That's
Fuck.
what I would do with my 200
Yeah.
billion or 100 billion.
I want the guy from
1 billion.
Oregon. I want the guy from Oregon.
Yeah, who?
University
Phil
to
Knight?
come in.
I want
That's right.
Yeah, Sixers are going Jordan brand only.
I don't give a shit.
No, I don't give a
That's what
shit.
I'm saying. So I'll buy a piece of it. I'll go in with you.
I would buy
AFCs.
majority share. That's what
What
I'll put
sports
it.
franchise, not actual team, but like what would you want to do? Because soccer, don't even think $1 billion's not going to cut it.
Nah, not even close. I
Well,
would
there's
say
plenty of teams in soccer that $1 billion. would be
ML,
fine.
you can buy all the ML.
Yeah, there's
can buy
plenty
all-
of teams, but it's just you're not getting Real Madrid or Manchester United. you know
yeah,
what I mean?
but
they have
like
their own
if,
stock.
if
Right.
you're gonna go, LeBron owns part of Liverpool.
LeBron's also
The man.
the richest guy.
He's so cool. I
so-
wish I was as cool as LeBron.
what?
I would go basketball or football. Probably basketball one. Just because I feel like it's more fun, like to be at a game and just be more entertaining. Like I could sit,
It's more controlled. Like
And they-
for football, there's too many guys I got to worry about paying.
like I'd rather be Mark Cuban than Jerry Jones. Like I would rather be
Yeah.
able to sit right there, talk to all the guys. Like obviously I can't tell them how to play, but like I can be next to them at all times and just
So-
chill.
So here's what's also creeping into my mind: concussions, CTE.
Getting sued in the.
You
in the
never
future.
know what's gonna happen. It might not happen for another 20 years, but something's gonna happen.
I
Is that
feel like it's
gonna come
happening.
down on-
I feel
We
like it's
can buy
happen-
into
it's
the
happening
UFC.
now.
Right? It might be.
Could.
That's what I'm saying.
UFC's
So
dying already, I think, dude.
It's Well, boxing's on its way up again. That's why.
I think UFC's dying again.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
that
crazy.
makes me nervous because I do
Till Connor comes back.
like to watch football more than basketball. They're pretty close.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong.
Yeah. But
But
I feel like basketball's more fun to watch. Like hockey's the best. Honestly, live hockey's
For
great
sure.
live.
For sure.
But I don't think
Well, baseball's decent live, but I just hate baseball.
But-
it
but
depends on
also-
what you want to own. As I would
Right,
think
but
basketball
also,
number one.
Basketball is also good to watch live, but you don't get the best bang for your buck when you're buying a ticket. Like if I'm buying a ticket, I'm going to be in the second level.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch hockey because it's much bigger.
Yep.
It's
Well, I'm
better
getting
to
a box.
watch.
You're gonna have the owner's box. I'm gonna be
So
killing
that's
it.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So you have the owner's box. So all
Like,
of a sudden it doesn't matter
if I could
anymore.
if I could buy majority stake of the fucking Lakers, yeah, I'm doing it.
Right.
Because like their fan base is.
No, fuck that. I want the Sixers.
Yeah. They were still like 1.2 billion. Something
They
like
should
that.
be.
Like middle of the pack.
See, the thing is with me, I don't want. Or you guys have the same one or two.
Yeah, that was
Like I don't want the drama or the stress of that. Like that's a lot to handle.
No,
Like,
I don't-
That's
I'm
a lot
not-
to take in on
yeah.
your
You're not
plate.
the GM though.
I'm
I
not
know,
anything.
but it's still a
I'm
lot.
literally just owner.
All right, well,
That's
whatever.
it.
Right. Jeff Lurie doesn't have that. He has Howie Roseman has to deal with it.
Like I want to go there. I want
Lori
to
has
watch.
to say what goes.
So
on.
I
Yeah.
can come down and be like, Howie,
Yeah,
get this shit together,
yeah,
or I'm gonna cut your fucking head off.
yeah. Jerry Jones has nothing to do with the Cowboys.
Well, there's like 4 owners that take part in.
Robert
what the
Kraft
fuck-
has
what the
no
fuck-
idea what's going on.
No, I know what's going on, but
Right,
I'm
I
just
didn't say
not
that.
gonna like Jerry Jones is presidency, and Jerry Jones is also GM, like an asshole. Like this is his own
Right.
fault. You're not a football guy. You shouldn't be GM.
What's your number 2?
See, man, these suck. All right, this is gonna sound dumb, but like,
It's all right. All yours have.
Gonna get a bunch
It's-
more flannels.
I'm gonna have a closet all all flannels, Doug Funny style.
Different colors.
Look like
It's
big-
just gonna be rose, so like the top will be blue, and it'll be like those library ladders where I slide around the room and start grabbing them.
Ray Liotta in Goodfellas, where he's going through his suits.
Yeah, they're all the same color. So I want a like an office like for the podcast. Like I want to own our own
Studio space.
like
Right. Building.
building, and I don't
You want a hangar.
right, but like I'm not thinking huge as in like an office building because I don't need like rooms and all
Right.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Like a
I
hangar.
I want a almost like a loft office type thing. Yeah, hangar, sure. And like I want our own space.
You watch Ballers?
No.
Okay. Because I was gonna say what they have for that.
Right, because we'll have
That
people
X
working for
Games
us.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
they
that the
have, it would
podcast
be
is going to get
perfect.
any bigger because we're rich. I'm just saying, like, we'll create media and we'll have our own media type thing. We'll have people who can help us and be like, all right, you guys want to make, like, all we'll have to do is go in and be
Record.
us. And then they'll
So
be.
this is just a platform to build you bigger to be
Right, but
to
that's what I'm
create
saying.
your
Like,
own
so if we
media
have our
company.
studio, like, I'll put a recording studio in there
Right.
for Ness and Ham, your cousin Richie, like, people to come and record.
Right.
Like musicians, and so it could be there'll be a recording studio that people can borrow. There could be
Local loyalty.
right, like I want it to be, and with that type of money, I can lose some.
Right.
I can lose some
Yeah.
to help people out. Like I won't buy anything crazy. Like it won't be the size of Walmart, but we can get something like
Yeah.
a good size
That's what I'm saying. We got to pull up the picture of the.
where it could be all, like. How about I always think of Rob Dyrdek's fantasy.
It don't got to be
Factory.
the biggest, but it's going to be the best shit.
Right, yeah, right. It doesn't have to be the biggest, like square foot wise, but everything's gonna be state of the art.
Everything- yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
gonna be
have our
top-notch.
shit. We can make videos because that's what, honestly, that's really what I want to do is just make YouTube videos. Of
Yeah, that
dumb
was
shit.
that was a great call. The Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory. That thing was.
Right, and I don't
awesome,
need a
dude.
foam pit and shit like that. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
but I understand what you're saying. Like just something like that, and you can do your own thing and just have
that's what
fun
I'm saying.
with
Like if you got something that big, like I could put a basketball court in there for us, just for the
it. Yeah.
office people. You know what I mean? Like that'd be hilarious. But I would love to have our own space. We're like being that rich, waking up knowing I'm going to where we're. I got to go to work today, but it's like our
Mhm.
place.
That was
Like
another.
Pat McAfee has a dope one.
Yeah, that was another big thing for me. It was like, it was tough to decipher between because you can't not work at our age. Like not
No, you're not gonna not. I
not-
can't just
not
wake
nec-
up and not.
not
work.
necessarily not work, but you're gonna have something to do. Because
Uh-huh.
what are you gonna? You're gonna retire at 28 and just be bored for 30 fucking years?
Right,
Like,
because
it's
like
just-
I say, like at some point, like when you can do whatever you want, it kind of gets boring. Like you need some motivation to
Mm-hmm.
do shit. Like yeah, I can wake up and go to the like have my personal trainer every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you'll look, but like you need.
We talked about it earlier. You were off for 9 days, and by the time we came around, you were like,
Yeah, But like, wouldn't that be a cool ride? Like to have our own,
Fuck yeah.
like our own like staff of like
engineers.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
almost running like a mini Barstool, but not dorks working there.
Right. The Sports X,
not complete nerds like Barstool.
Sports X office and Ballers.
Yeah.
Is like they have like the whole ground floor is like tables with computers and all that kind of stuff. And there's like an upstairs loft where like their main office is, and then there's like a conference room. And then attached to that can be open space. You can have like an indoor basketball court.
Right.
Then you have the recording studio, like for musicians, a podcast one. Like
I don't want it to be like I said, I don't want it to be big where it's like you feel like you're at a place.
right.
Small,
That's what I'm
so it's
saying.
still
I'm not-
intimate for everybody, but
Right.
obviously where it can fit everyone.
You would go to
love
work.
that.
You would go to work without feeling like you're going to work.
Right.
essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's number one?
My number one is, this is the first thing I thought of actually. We talked about it prior on the podcast before. When I was on it. I'm a big music guy. I would literally just grab like 10, 15 of my favorite bands or whatever, and I would just rent out something.
Fire
just-
Island.
I would just rent out like a venue or something and just have a very intimate show, like 100 people, whatever, of my closest family and friends, and just have them all just
That'd be
fucking
so
fire.
sick, dude.
Maybe even like holograms. Throw Jim Morrison in there.
Yeah.
Kurt
shit.
Cobain, like, because like you can afford it. You know what I mean? The ones that look real. Remember when they did that Tupac one
Yep.
a couple years ago? It kind of looked legit. You know
It
what I mean?
did.
Throw them in there, have them dub over with the voice. That was my first thing I thought of.
That'd be so sick to throw like your own personal
Your own,
festival
yeah. And it's like,
through the weekend or something like.
it's not like, and it's not like, oh, I gotta wait 2 hours to see this band because this band's playing before and I don't like them. You have literally just a lineup.
Damn.
You create your own lineup of.
That'd be
Okay.
awesome. I love that. It'd be dope too. I feel like we'd have to just like invite certain outsiders to go.
Yeah.
You need to feed off the crowd.
Yeah.
So have
That's
like
what-
two. I don't have 200 friends. So having like, damn, I don't know.
Yeah,
What, but, like,
it would be.
it depends if you want like an acoustic session or not.
It would be intimate, but intimate in the sense of the amount of people. Like I would have it electric.
Did you ever see Incubus's HQ CD? It's like Incubus Live HQ. It's this place in LA. They play for like 75 guys or 75 people.
Yeah.
Dude, it's sick. And they have it only dude, they do it 3 nights in a row. They fucking rock out in this little room, electric as shit. It's
That's
wild.
fucking badass. Like
It's
that's
so
the shit.
wild.
Yeah.
Dude, but their shit sounds good. You got to listen to the CD.
That was literally the first thing when you text me. You were like, all right, and I was like, that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
My number one is, and I looked into this, and I mentioned it before. It's surprisingly not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Is I want to buy an island, set up
shit.
my own shit.
This dude.
Like Richard Branson.
Right, islands, depending on where you're going. Like I said, when you buy an island, you're in the competition with other people. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you got that shitty
Yeah,
island.
yeah.
I got this baller ass island over here.
I feel like plumbing's the only issue.
Well, so you can buy islands. You can buy islands with power and plumbing and shit, like already
Oh,
set up for
beautiful.
the island.
How do they have plumbing?
The same
Plumbers,
way-
dude.
The same way, yeah. You get plumbing anywhere else. I don't know.
Irrelevant.
All
Go on.
all the pipes come from the ocean.
But again, some of the islands are covered in trees, or like there's no beach area, so like they're gonna be cheaper. I want like a nicer one. Doesn't have to be the ballerest one. I'm not buying Hawaii. You know what I mean? But something that I could like set up a house, like a couple shit that like a couple things that I could build, and then a nice runway to land my plane on.
Yeah.
And like a couple different beach areas. Maybe one with like some cliffs, not like super high cliffs, but like some cliffs.
Jump off in the water?
It's cool
So
to,
you
like,
buy
go up on the
islands with
cliff.
surrounding areas, so you can like.
Yeah, I got
I'm
I'm
other
gonna
shit
pull
to
within
into
do.
re-
the,
within
just
re-
3 sides into the water.
I got a little shit. I got some shit to do. You know what I mean?
That's what because that was one of the things I thought. Richard Branson, remember when he did
Yeah,
Cribs?
cribs, dude.
Mariah
They took a
Carey
shit.
was there and shit, like just hanging out. Like
Yeah,
she
she's a weirdo.
spent
dude.
like, but she spent like $200,000 a night to go there to his island. He was just there, but
Right.
then it was like, remember the end? Like he's just shitting, and it's like all open. He's already taking
Right.
his
Well,
shit.
that's he set it up like that. He's fucking
Yeah.
weird. Oh,
But-
it have doors.
Good news is that island's gone. It got destroyed in one of the hurricanes. It really did.
But there you can buy an island for
So
like
you ever having shitty phones, Virgin Mobile, get the fuck out of here.
you can buy an island for like $75,000.
Oh, okay.
Grand?
Yeah. again,
Hold
it's
on,
gonna
grand or million?
be grand.
Get the fuck out of here.
Swear to God.
It's only land, but I mean,
Again-
as everything else that costs money.
Right. Again, it might be a little bit further out. It's going to cost you money to get there. It might be covered in trees. You got to knock down all the trees. It might not have any beach areas. It might not have plumbing. It might not have power. So it's going to cost you fucking $10 million to set
To
that
set
up.
everything up to how you want it to be anyway.
Right. But so I would get a little bit of a nicer one. I'm not
Yeah.
buying a $70,000 one. I'm buying one that's maybe already set up with that, or I can do it, obviously, with the.
Because I think it said,
You'll have to have the island podcast on there if you have your own island.
There you go.
Hey, boys, I figured it would be appropriate if you guys came on and just,
Because I think that, if my memory's correct,
gave me
like,
an island review.
when he did his crib, it was like $250 million or something, and that was like all in full, and he had every fucking thing there.
Right. That's what you need. Yeah. There's companies that.
That's
sell
where
islands
that's
and
where
they-
it threw me off with the $75,000.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. And that $75,000 one might also be in northern Canada too. You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
you're never
something
going
you-
there anyway.
Right. But there's companies that sell them, and they will have see that first one right there, or the one on the left. See how it's just covered in trees? Doesn't look like
Yeah.
any beach access.
$95
Like,
million.
well, it's $95 million.
Pumpkin
But
Key.
I don't know where it's at.
In
Oh, it's
Florida.
out of Florida. You
It's
know what I
called-
mean? That's what I'm saying.
It's surrounded by water. They obviously have beach access.
26 acres. This one's
Yeah, but
4,600 acres.
There might not be sand. It might just go into the water.
Yeah.
It
Looks
might be
nice.
dirt. It might be, if you go to a lake up the mountains, I don't see any sand around that
That's a
island.
house
There you go.
and a dock. $95 million.
Right, because it already has a house and a dock on it,
Yeah.
and it's in Florida.
Here we go. Pumpkin Key is an extraordinary. Sorry, the mouse is acting up. An extraordinary private island totaling 26 acres in the tropic of the Card Sound Bay, located in the Florida Keys. Just 10 minutes by helicopter to Miami.
Right.
In the
10
infamous
minutes,
South Beach.
10 minutes
10 minutes
outside
by
of
boat
South
to
Beach.
shore from home of dockage of the Ocean's Reef, a private club in Key Largo. All right, this is all.
Yeah,
there's a
no
bunch of
wonder
bugs.
it's $95 million.
Yeah, but you'll have so much left over.
True.
You have $1 billion.
Right.
Oh,
I could buy that one.
Hey, it's a turnkey. It's a turnkey island. There
Right.
you go.
So you just got to show up. But
Yo,
yeah,
Cyber Monday can suck my balls, and so can
Probably buy an island on Cyber Monday.
Dude, I just can't believe how many texts and
a
emails
little
I get
cheaper.
for Black Friday in Cyber Island.
Yeah, anywhere you Cyber Island.
Cyber Island.
Anywhere you've ever bought anything from is
It's
sending you like 10
Jesus
emails for that.
Christ, guys,
Yeah.
relax.
What's your number one?
Always been a dream of mine, and this would be even
Meet Aerosmith.
dream on. And it would always be better because I could even lose a couple money owning one of this. I always wanted to own my own bar. So when you have this much money, you can really have fun owning your own bar because
Yeah.
you're never going to
You
go
can not
back.
let anybody in.
Well,
and
yeah,
still
I can make it a
never go
private club.
bankrupt.
Even if it's a regular bar, like I'm never going to make anything huge. Like I don't know.
As I'm saying,
But it's
you
still
could
all
buy
profit.
you could buy a small bar and never unlock the doors and have the only key and just have somebody work there and show up to yourself. Like it doesn't matter.
Right,
at this
like,
level.
and I always picture like the old speakeasy type vibes. Like, look how cool that is, dude. Like, just have a dope bar with all of our where it's our spot.
Yeah.
Outsiders are welcomed, I guess, but like,
Everybody somewhere where everybody knows your name.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
For
up
sure.
there. I was up there this past couple weeks.
How was that? What's that like in there?
It was packed as fuck, but
Really touristy?
yeah, but like they have two bars downstairs and then upstairs where this like the set was.
But yeah,
So so you could walk in and see that shit.
I would love to own my own bar and just like do it how you want, because like you know what you want out of a bar.
Hmm.
Being to enough and like just cool shit. Look at this shit. Like
Speakeasy bars are fucking dope, dude.
even the old school ones that are like underground and like you get all that like industrial
Where you need-
like pipe and like
You like walk in through the old
bookcase
refrigerator
or
door.
something.
That's
Yeah.
like you ever been to Hop Sing in Philly?
Uh-uh.
It's called Hop Sing Laundromat. You ever hear of it though?
no.
Dude, you literally it's like you walk up to like a old metal door, and it's like the classic like the slide.
Right.
I mean, they look at you, whatever. Take your IDs through that. They don't ever deny anybody. It's all for show.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you walk in, and it's like real dim. But like if you're being like too rambunctious, somebody will come over and be like, yo, chill out, dude. Like stop. but their
The
drinks
cops are gonna find out.
but their drinks are just fucking out of this world. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right. But I'm just thinking, just having your own fucking spot. You know what I mean? Like, your spot.
sure.
And you can, like, and make it fun, too, for people to come. $2 canned beer. You know how, like, the garage where they sell, like, beers and shit?
Yeah.
Like, a can.
PBR's free.
But, you know what I mean? Like, anything. Like, we're, like, it's not John Taft coming, oh, you're going to lose all this money. Like, shut the fuck up.
I know, John. I got $1 billion. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Like.
That's why I love the jug, dude. It's 2 hour highlights all day, every day. Literally.
So what's your 5 to 1?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
5
Your
to
whole
1.
list.
I gotta bring it back up.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Start at
Your
5.
Is this your first time, or?
All right. Well, dude, my phone went dark. Travel Guy Fieri, wherever he goes.
Uh-huh.
Just place a huge bet.
Yeah, I like that.
Go to space. Buy a sports team. And then hire all my favorite bands to play an intimate show.
That's cool. I really like that.
I'll go to the moon.
Sure.
I'd buy a house and stay for any place that I ever would travel to and liked. I'd buy and renovate a 747 to get to all those places. I'd buy a stake in a sports franchise. And I'd buy an island. And I'd buy an island.
Oh, okay. I thought. I'd open up a basketball gym, a big basketball gym for everybody, so the kids, are off the streets.
Helping the people out.
My number 4 was Topgolf. I think that would be just sick to own a cool franchise, something like that. 3 was own a Chipotle. No, I'm just kidding. What was my? Old school. I would want to open a I don't even want to call it an arcade. It would be like a. It would be an arcade.
Like a stadium.
It would be like a
that has arcade games in it.
Yeah, like a gaming event area.
Gaming arena.
Right.
For sure. 2 would be our own personal media office. It would be the best way to describe it. And 1 would be my own bar.
I feel like you really undersold the $1 billion.
Yeah, well, your guys are snobs and you're greedy fucking pigs, and you're gonna all rot in hell like the dirty fucking scumbags that are deep down in your balls. You guys would all go to that creepy island with Epstein. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love yous. Subscribe.
Most of these.
Give us the stars. Don't give us a star. I don't care what. If you give us a 1, if you don't like us, that's fine. It is what it is. We enjoy all your listeners. We appreciate all your listeners. And we love you. Next week. See you.
Turn up, let's go.